Can we get some ratchet one time?
Look, I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop. I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peace. You gon' see the flex when you hear these writtens. Trust me, you know the difference. I got a long ways to climb before you see a slippage. I see the process and the journey I'm supposed to be, but perplexed, cause I don't really see nobody close to me. Hopefully this ain't wasted and I know it ain't. You gotta take the time for seasoning to marinate. You need the patience and the pressure just to detonate. I'm trying to blow up and these heathens need to get it straight. Gifted with a vision and precision, I'm just trying to make it high key. Might be breaking free like I was Zion in some Nikes. Tucked at the crib, bro, you know just where to find me. Making beats and spitting crack verses pretty likely. Yeah, socks with the burst, boy, I ain't changed a bit. Normal guy till I die, you know what it is. You probably thought I'd give up now that I got some kids, but really now I got these arrows aiming at your ribs. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop. I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas. Hey, please be on the notice, these my motives. Bought my chicken and it's rotis. You parsimonious, you take it all cause you a locust. My focus is to grow this mission. A visionary, get a dictionary. We here off the rip and we ain't sharing, we just caring. Let me speak it to the manager. We damage her, no you ain't messing with an amateur. I'm ramming, the competition, they ain't standing up. They fanning from left to right cause now they branded us. Now who that is? Mike Jones, they ain't want me now, they all on me. Got counterfeits trying to play me, I guess they thinking I'm Sony. These big head dummies showing up and out of their character. Homie, you need a price cause without it the squad ain't hearing you. Top of that, we ain't fearing you. We swinging for the fences with the sting of a left hook that connects with Sonny Liston. I'm dismissing any and all of the disrespect. Nonetheless, it ain't a threat, I'm just letting y'all know who's next. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop. I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas, you gon' see the...
Yeah, I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat. Yo, grew my hair and took the grill out. Think it's time to put it back in. Trying to get into that big house, turn the crib into the mansion. Needed something with that big bounce. You know I had to hit Jackson. Aaron Rodgers with the quick routes. How with the gang we packing? We on the field at Lambo. Might peel in a Lambo. Running drills in my camo. They know what the M stand for. Still got fam in Hawaii, yeah. Couple fans in the lobby, yeah. Couple grand in my pocket, yeah. Couple grams of wasabi, yeah. Eye it up, no glasses. Light it up, no matches. Wife it up, no ratchets. Might turn my wife to an actress. And we gon' make a movie, no Kim K. Give a fuck about what your friends say. I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
I'm just sticking to the code, I keep it so G. She asked me what I smoke, I'm smoking OG. I don't fool with too many, only catch me 4 deep. Gotta stay away from snakes, swear these people so creep. I've been grinding for a minute, many labels so sleep. These rappers drop a song, be hot for about a week. I put Gucci on my toes, I keep some cold feet. I ain't paying for no hoes, you niggas know me. I'm about to body the beat. I keep me a hottie with me. She wanna for a fee. Give me that for free. Keep me some money on me. Smoking the gas key. You with me, sheesh. Bonito, cheap, Keith.
I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide, never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Mafia, we said the liquidity was sitting below. We had that liquidity sitting just below our current wick, sitting at about $78,125-ish. And we were suspicious of getting that next move down to sweep the rest of that liquidity before another bounce, guys. And we have calmed down to that key level. We swept some more of that liquidity, and we are getting the bounce to the upside. We are in a long position in the premium Discord. I want to talk about it, guys. Is this going to be the big bounce, or is it just going to be another lackluster retracement before another lower high and a continuation to the downside? I'm going to break down the charts for you guys and show you exactly what I'm looking at to potentially anticipate the next move here on Bitcoin. Like I said, I am long. However, obviously, the higher time frame still not looking that good, guys. I know we covered yesterday a lot about kind of is the bear market in? What could the bear market potentially look like? I think I'm going to make a pre-recorded video talking about the bear market and, you know, if 109K was the top, how can we potentially see this play out? As you guys know, I don't necessarily fall in that camp. I do think there could be more pain ahead, but I don't know if that necessarily means we're going into a traditional bear cycle. So yeah, we're going to be talking about that. I want to talk about this bounce that we're getting, the key levels that we're hitting, and kind of where we're going to expect this to go next if we get the continuation to the upside, as well as the key levels you need to be aware of in case we are going to put in that lower high and a continuation back to the downside, because you guys know we're going to capitalize making money trading Bitcoin, whether price goes up or down. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Everybody's just like, oh my God, nobody knows what the heck is going on here. It's like, you think it's going up. Shout out to Fabian. He was saying, you know, I think it's going up. I think it's going down. You know, you say it's going to go up and down. It starts going sideways. You never know what this thing is going to do. And obviously, I think we are going to, I think we might see a little bit more chop here, guys, but I'm going to try to give you like my base case on what I think the next likely biggest move is going to be. Are we going to get a big retracement to the upside? And if we do, how high do we have to go in order to really get out of the woods here? And yeah, I'll show you guys kind of my super, what I really think is going to happen. I know a lot of people aren't going to like it. I got a feather on my hat. But yeah, we're going to break it all down for you guys, and I'm going to show you the local levels on where I'm long from and kind of where I expect if this long is going to continue to play out. If we get above certain key levels, we could potentially see a bigger push up. So I'm going to show you all the local levels as well in case you're looking to get those day trades or those little scout positions. Let's see. Bada boom. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for tuning in. Smash that like button every 100 likes we get. I'm so used to saying that, guys. But we actually wound up hitting 1,000 likes on last night's live stream. So we're going to give away 5 Frankie Candles hats. If we hit 1,000 likes on tonight's live stream, I'll give away a free month to the premium Discord to one lucky CandleMafia member. I think we're going to do that. I think a lot of people would like that giveaway. So, yeah, we'll do that, and then maybe tomorrow we'll do some Solana giveaways. We'll switch it up a little bit. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Smash that like button. We got Creighton C in the chat said, yeah, he knows about the green dots and the divs. Shout out to Creighton C. I guess somebody said, do you see the green dot and the divs? We do have some bullish signs printing, guys, on the higher time frames. We will go over those. I know we have some bull divs printing. We also have some money flow that could give us a market cipher B116 strategy. Like I said, I will give you guys that more bullish case and kind of why, even if we do get a bigger move up, it might just be a little bit more of a retracement before some more downside. We'll cover it all, guys. I'm not just going to be generally bearish or bullish. I'll show you the main kind of scenarios I'm looking at and the exact one that I am playing. Let's see. Snagged along at 78.1. Let's go. Shout out to Garrett. Welcome in, bro. Congrats on your long entry. We got John Cena in the chat. What is going on, bro? Welcome in. We got Hack the System. Welcome in, bro. Thank you for being here. Cali Crypto Dude. Aileen Ulick featuring Wick 589. Shout out to you. Shout out to Wick 589. Welcome in, bro. We got Gen Z in the chat. We got Joe Crypto. Big. I don't know how to say that. Cacao. Shout out to you, bro. It says Bing Bong. Welcome in, bro. Well, thank you for tuning in. We got Derek in the chat. We got Jets. We got JP. We got Nirvana. We got everybody in the chat tonight. Shout out to French Toaster. Welcome in. Said the Invisible Man. Shout out to French Toaster. Invisible Man. Behind me? Shout out to French Toaster. But let's see. Bull run over. Yeah, shout out to Chewy. I'm going to touch on that lightly. I kind of talked about that a lot last night. And like I said, I think I'm probably just going to do like a pre-record going over like all my thoughts on the market. As you guys know, just like in simple terms, we'll break down the charts. Let's just go ahead and jump on into it. And I'll talk about a little bit about, why I think that the bull market is not completely over, but also why more pain might be ahead. And yeah, oh God, I hate covering this stuff. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump on into the chart. Smash that like button and let's get into it. So here we are, guys, on the Bitcoin chart. Let's see. Shout out to Doc. Said, yo, Frankie's the man. Parentheses, GOAT. Shout out to Doc. Thank you for being here, bro. Welcome in. Did I not? I didn't hear that GOAT that first time. It was a silent GOAT. But let's see. All right, let's continue on here. So if we jump on into the charts here, guys, obviously we are getting a little bit of a bounce to the upside. We are long here in the premium Discord. Let me go ahead and pull that trade up real quick. We are in a long here, up about $3,100. I got about 1,000 locked in already. Not too shabby for a little bit of a move here. However, is this going to be the low, guys? We knew that we had a lot of liquidity sitting down here below the wick at about $78,000. Or I'm sorry, below this wick at about I would pull it up on this chart. We knew that we had this liquidity sitting down below this wick at about $78,172. I don't know what time frame I was on there, but we knew, right? As you guys know, we were. I was in a position yesterday, right? And we were coming up, and I was saying, I kind of expect this to come back to the downside, right? Kind of just solely based, honestly, off of the liquidity, right? We also had some things on Market Cipher B, but let me actually see if I could pull up the liquidation heat map so I can actually show you guys exactly what we were looking at here. Because we did wind up going down and grabbing the rest of that liquidity. Where are we at? Let me pull up the 3-month. Bada boom, bada bing. And let me just change some settings here so we can see it a little bit better. So yeah, let me go ahead and put this full screen and give it a little refresh, and then we will So as you guys know, right, we have the major level of liquidity. Let me actually just pull up the main range that we've been looking at, right? So we knew we had this liquidity down here. It was actually a little bit higher. We came down. We took part of that liquidity, and then we got a little bit of a bounce to the upside. Then we came back down. We took a little more of that liquidity. We got a little bit of a bounce to the upside, and then we did wind up coming back down here once again just to sweep the rest of that liquidity, right? We barely dipped into that liquidation zone, which oftentimes does give us another drop to the downside to kind of clean out the rest of that liquidity. Oftentimes, guys, I'll say this this until I'm blue in the face. When you see, a big pocket of liquidity and you only dip into it slightly, it makes me very suspicious. Although we were getting a little bounce here, we talked about it. Saying like I'm not really convinced here, right? I would much rather get another drop to the downside to sweep out the rest of that liquidity and, or at least a little bit more of that liquidity. And you can see here, we swept out a little bit of it and we came back in to grab a little bit more, right? And I might have to zoom in a little bit here. You guys can see, right? We dipped and then we dipped again to grab more of that liquidity. Now we do still pretty much, we do still actually have some liquidity sitting down there below about $76,000, $76,639. We do still have a little bit of a pocket down there, but I just wanted to point that out, right? Because oftentimes, guys, I talk about how liquidity is really the thing that moves the market. And, sure, you could get a bounce here. You did have some confirmations there. You could get the bounce, but, there is a very, very specific reason why we anticipate price to come back down and give us the deeper push. Number one, we have a liquidity still living below here, right? So technically we came down, we swept that liquidity, but we still had this sitting down here, which makes me say, hey, well, chances are probably going to get another drop to the downside here and get that bigger sweep into the thicker zone of liquidity, right? And then once you take more of that liquidity, that's typically where you see those bigger bounces happen. So that was kind of my thesis yesterday. We did get the drop down like literally right after I get off the live stream, guys. I swear, like minutes after I get off the live stream, I try to run downstairs to Mrs. Candles. And I'm like, come on, let's go, let's get food. I'm trying to eat. And then all of a sudden we come back and it's like, you get the move, right? It's like the second I leave the computer or the second I really sign off the stream, that's when we get the move. We try to get these moves during the stream so we can get some excitement, but it always happens right after. But at the end of the day, guys, we came up, we expected this to come back down. We did grab that liquidity, and we did get the bounce to the upside. And my plan here was actually, although most of the time, guys, I do like to kind of enter my trades with a tight stop loss. And then if we do come back down, I like to stop out of that trade and just find a new entry with a fresh position. In this particular case, because we front ran this 786, I took this position in anticipation, again, to potentially come back down here, sweep the liquidity, and maybe even go ahead and tap on that 786. So I decided to keep that position open, and I was going to actually add as we came down into that 786, and we came down. We never hit the 786, and we just came back up. So I'm technically in the same position I was yesterday. I just didn't get a chance to add to my position, which kind of stinks, but still, not too bad. Up about $4,000. Can't complain about that. But at the end of the day, guys, we got the drop down. We're now getting the bounce. Where is price likely to go next? So I'm going to break down actually the lower time frames first, and then I'll dive a little bit deeper into the higher time frames, and maybe I'll answer that question. Drop a 1 in the chat. Drop a candle in the chat. Drop something in the chat if you guys want me to talk about the whole bear market situation. Are we in a bear market? I will try to drop a pre-record, getting a little bit more in depth on that, but yeah, let me know if you guys want to see that, because I don't want to spend time. Like, if you guys just want the key levels, I'd rather just do it in a pre-record. But if you guys are really dying for like a quick update on that whole situation, I'll try to give you like my simplest explanation, and then we'll go into more detail on the pre-record. Let's see. Shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, "Is it weird Tyler sleeps with a poster of you above his bed? And why is there a poster of Tony D in his bathroom? I don't know. It's kind of weird, but then again, I kind of get it." Shout out to Creighton C. Yeah, we sent you a couple of posters. Did you not get them? Creighton, yeah, check the mail, bro. If you haven't checked your mail in a while, check it. I think we did send you some posters. It's a requirement for the CandleMafia. No, I'm just kidding. It does increase profitability, though. That's probably why he's doing it. Shout out to Tyler Durden. By the way, I don't think I said it, guys. Show the mods some love in the chat. We got Rob the Crypto Som, Crypto Billy, Crypto Anon, Darren Does Things. Let's see. Bada boom. We got Captain Kirk and yeah, actually, let me see here. Who do we got? I only see Darren Does Things right now. I'm sure everyone else is in here, but yeah, show them on some love, guys. They help us out so much with this YouTube channel. If you love them as much as I do, show them some love in the chat. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look here, right? So if we do get the continued bounce, and yeah, drop those candles, drop those ones in the chat if you guys want me to talk about the the bear market. But first off, let's cover the local levels, right? We'll cover the tangible TA, right? The actual, relevant levels, rather than just talking about like, oh my God, guys, we have massive support at 100, massive resistance at $97,000, right? We're so far away from there at this point. But let's go ahead and jump on in here. Now, obviously, guys, we have this local volume profile that we've been watching for, a few days now, right? This is kind of what we were using as our kind of guide, right? We knew that once we came above this volume profile, we were going to get sucked back in, very likely. Once we got sucked in, we knew it was very likely to go to the POC, which is right here, right? And we kind of bing-bonged around. We had a short setup here in the premium to see this full volume profile fill all the way down to the value area low. And then this was that key level that we were talking about. Hey, if we do wind up losing this level, guys, we're probably going to see that quicker drop down closer to $76,000. We got that. And then we had the whole situation from yesterday, and now we're getting that bounce. So the question is, right, my overall thought process for the long position that I'm sitting in right now, let me go ahead and just pull that up. I believe it's right here, right? So my overall kind of thought process here, guys, with the premium was to see this right up into the previous value area low, which you can see we just barely tapped that final take profit, like literally to the penny there. And, you know, hopefully we could see this continue up. And I'm going to talk about some of the things that we're seeing on Market Cypher B, which could argue that we could potentially get back into this range and get a little bit more of a move to the upside. But overall, I have been treating the longs as scalps until proven otherwise. You know, the original thought process of coming down here to the golden pocket, the macro golden pocket, the macro fib, the macro 786 was kind of to start looking for swing positions down here. However, when we started looking at the charts, right, as we approach those key levels, right, because we've been looking at these levels, you know, ever since we were bing-bonging around in this range, we were looking for that golden pocket and that 786 to get tapped. Right, so we pull that from the low to the high, right? We were looking at the golden pocket and then the 786 that we just barely front ran. You know, we were looking at this as like, hey, you know, if we come down here, this could be a potential opportunity to look for a major swing long, right? Same thing with the 786. But with the way that the higher time frames look, with our 2-day money flow, guys, crossing over into the red, I am not looking at these as instant swing longs, right? I'm actually looking at these as more of a day trade or just little scalp long position until proven otherwise, right? If we wind up, you know, we'll talk about this, right? You know, if we do continue up here, I do want to mention some very, very specific things here at the highs. We do have a decent bit of liquidity sitting above this wick, which could potentially act as a magnet for price. Right, so we'll go ahead and mark that out, right? So right here, we do have that wick. It does give us, we do have a lot of liquidity. I haven't marked out on the chart here, sitting between about 83,700 and 84,500. So, you know, maybe this does act as a magnet for price. We may be able to get sucked back up into this range. Once we come take that liquidity, it will be an area where we will be potentially looking to go short in the premium Discord, depending on kind of the signals that we have pop up in there. But if we do wind up coming and taking that liquidity, guys, it'll at least give us a push above that value area low. And then once we get above here, guys, you know, the goal here for the continuation to the upside will be to flip that value area low to support and then eventually look for that move into the point of control, which right now does sit at about $89,572. That is confluent with a golden pocket sitting right there with it. The whole zone together comes in between about 88,000 and 89,638. This is going to be the next major target. Now, we do have this anchored VWAP flying through here. So again, you know, we may be able to come up here and get some bearish confirmations as this anchored VWAP comes down. If we get stuck underneath here, we could potentially look for a short to get the bigger drop down to maybe eventually come down and take this low again, right? Just like yesterday, looking to take the low into the extra liquidity. If we do wind up coming back down, we could look to take this low back into the 786, because one thing here, guys, the fact that, you know, sure, it's great. We came down here, you know, deeper into that liquidity zone. But the problem for me personally is that we did actually front run all of our key levels of support, right? So if I pull this up, we had a daily NPOC sitting down there, right? Which we barely front ran. We almost got down. We front ran that by like, let's see, like a couple bucks, right? And then we also have a weekly naked point of control at the end of this box, and then the 786 sitting right in between. So, you know, it's not possible to get up in here and send it back to the upside. And again, we're going to get to Market Cypher B. You could even see here on the 80-minute starting to curve back to the upside with our money flow here. Not too bad, but, you know, and I'll cover that a little bit deeper. We have some specific things I'm looking at. But at the end of the day, right, like if we wind up getting rejected here, we have to be careful because that higher time frame money flow, guys, still isn't really looking that good. And if we do wind up coming back down here to take the lows, right, we would actually be able to take those lows, take out the rest of that liquidity, and hopefully come into the actual key levels of support that we've been looking at, right? You know, if we were to come down here, I may be more interested in somewhat of a swing long. I mean, I'm just going to spoil it right now. Based off the higher time frames, I'm probably still going to now treat this level as a scalp level or a day trade level rather than a massive swing level. And again, that is based off the high time frame money flow, which we'll get into towards the end of the Bitcoin analysis, because we'll talk about kind of, you know, what we're expecting in the long term. But medium term, I will say this, right? Like, we're tapping on the doorway to higher prices. We have liquidity above, which could act as a magnet. And on top of that, right, like, I wouldn't be surprised if we cool off, because this is obviously going to be resistance, right? Once you get below that value area low, this is where you want to be looking for longs. This is your undervalued asset. This is your cheap asset. This is where you want to be looking to buy, right? And then you're going to want to look to ride that back into, hopefully, into your fair value, at least targeting the POC. But on the way back up, right, you know, this is going to be resistance until proven otherwise, right? So like I just showed, I do have profits locked in on this long position, stop loss at break even. So if we do break up into this profile and we send it up to the POC in the value area high, that's great. I'll continue to profit on that long. And then, you know, depending on how the rest of the night goes, right, we'll see what happens here. But if we do wind up just like nuking out of nowhere, I'll at least make $1,000 on the day. Not too shabby. And then we'll just simply look for another position down here at those key levels of support. But number one, I don't love that we front ran every single level of support we have down here. All we did is sweep liquidity, which, could be enough, right? But maybe not, right? We have to kind of keep both scenarios open here. But, if we get another big drop to the downside, remember, just key resistance until proven otherwise. It's not until we get above here, sweep the liquidity without bearish confirmations, flip this value area low to support. That is where I would be looking to anticipate this next purple box. And then, that would be great. Market Cypher B could be pointing towards that, right? I think either way, it's probably going to be likely to get some kind of a correction here of some sort, even if we do continue the trend to the upside and come up to that POC. But if we take a look at some of our time frames here on Market Cypher, you can see that 1 hour money flow is about to cross over into the green. Now, I would be a little bit more careful with the bullish Market Cypher B116 strategies right now, just because of the strong selling pressure that we have right now. But, if we come on over here to the 16 hour, you can see we are printing that 16 hour green dot. So when you see that 16 hour green dot with that 1 hour money flow about to cross over into the green, if they happen at the same time, oftentimes you can see a continuation of the trend to the upside. But remember, guys, a continuation of the trend, right? Not just an instant Lambo candle to the upside, but if you get that money flow crossover, this is our best bet, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing on the charts, to see some kind of a continuation to the upside, right? Again, key resistance here, right? Resistance until proven otherwise. If that money flow crosses into the green, this would be nice with that 16-hour green dot to continue the trend up. Now, we do also have some low time frame bearish divergences confirmed here, right? Higher highs on our price action. Whoops. Lower highs on our momentum waves here. Whoops. Right, lower highs on our momentum waves. I'm not going to be able to draw that perfectly, but we do have confirmed bearish divergences right into the key level of resistance, so we could potentially continue down here. However, the overall trend, I would hope, if we can get that 1 hour money flow crossover into the green, we would hope that for the longs, right, this would only be a little bit of a pullback to potentially continue the trend to the upside, eventually breaking above that value area low. But in simple terms here, guys, there is a reason why we are really looking at this, right? When I put this in the premium Discord, I say, like, hey, guys, we got this nice move. That's technically final TP. I am holding a good amount of this position in case we do continue up, but I have profits locked in. My stop loss is at break even. And, if you want to close that trade out in full, that's a nice move, right? It's a nice little 5.9% move from where we entered. Not too bad, right? You might want to lock your money in and walk away. If you want to try to, tighten up your risk management and let it run, that's fine too. But, I am being very, very cautious with the longs here just to kind of show that, right? And we just showed, right? Profits locked in, not getting greedy with the longs here just yet. And again, a big reason for that is the higher time frame money flow. Sure, we can continue up, and we'll talk about how high we could go before I'm really saying, hey, this bounce is really the one. I do think we're pretty far from one of these bounces being the one. I'll be quite honest with you guys. I hate saying it. I really, really, really hate saying it. Shout out to Dave Digital dropping the GSP emojis and the fire emojis. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. Just testing out all the emojis. I love it. Let's see. Lambo candle. Let's go. Shout out to J. Cole. 97, then 82K. Yeah, shout out to My Passive Freedom. I mean, 97K is still a major, major key level, and I'll get into that in just a minute. But locally, guys, this is the volume profile that I'm looking at, right? Deviate below the low. If we get back in here, we're looking to go up to the POC. Let me turn off the let me turn off the larger range here real quick. Right, so get above that value area low, fighting this anchored VWAP, get above that. We could potentially look for the full fill of this range or at least a move into that POC. But again, I would be careful of short-term pullbacks before that actually happens based off the divergences that I just showed. But this 1 hour money flow crossing into the green with that 16-hour green dot may be able to give us a little bit of a bing bong up into that POC. And again, it's beautiful because the volume profiles give us that beautiful, beautiful line in the sand, which is going to be the value area low sitting at 83.6. Get above that, hold it. That's where we can look for the bigger fill of that range. And then that's just a simple volume profile trade, right? We get up there, we take the liquidity, we come into the POC, come into the value area high. Now, just remember here, guys, pulled from this overall high to the low, we have our golden pocket POC, and then the 786 is also confluent with our value area high of the range. Let me just make sure we don't have any other confluence up there. I don't think we did. And then let me just check some of these anchored VWAPs as well. Pull this from the high. Yeah, that's not it. Let's pull it from this swing high. Yeah, nothing. I mean, maybe this one, but to be quite honest, right? Yeah, maybe this one. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really be putting so much attention on that anchored VWAP, but it is confluent. 786 value area high is really what I'd be looking excuse me, really what I'd be looking at personally. So, just as we do typically with the volume profiles, just like we look for the longs down here and we take them, right? If we get back up to the high, we will be looking for shorts and potentially taking them for a full rotation of that range. We could potentially see some chop happen here, guys. And again, I'll get a little bit into the longer term analysis. I know this is just really choppy price action, so it's kind of why I've been focusing a little bit more on the longer term analysis on the live streams, kind of explaining my overall thoughts on the market. But that's what we're looking at, right? We got to dip down to our levels. We're in the long, and we're just hoping we can get back up in here. If not, we'll stop out in profit. Not a big deal. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I would really, really love. I would really love to come sweep this liquidity. And once we get that, we could potentially look for another short position. And that way, we'll be in the long position. And then if we get stopped out of that long in profit, we'll at least have that short continuing to pay us out as well. So we're covered on both sides. But at this point, right, our goal is to get above this value area low and hold it to support. Hold it as support, right? And if that 1 hour money flow crosses over into the green, right, maybe we pull back a little bit and then send it to the upside. Those are the local levels I'm watching very simply, right? We swept that liquidity, we flipped that tap daily naked point of control back into support, and boom, we got the move up. Now, if we come back over here to Market Cipher B real quick, right, 12-hour green dot is also printing with our 45-minute money flow crossing over into the green, right? This is oftentimes a sign of a continuation to the upside. Now, again, in such a bearish kind of environment like we're in right now, you would want to put a little bit of caution on these kind of scenarios. Doesn't mean that they won't play out, but you just want to handle them with care because, again, if we're just going to continue dumping here, these signals might get invalidated, but they are on the chart, which is why I'm bringing them up. And you might ask me, well, what is the warning sign that's popping up on the chart? And that's very simply put, guys. Before I move on to that, does everybody get the local levels, right? This is the local volume profile. I'll just give you these simple numerical levels. Let me pull this to the current price action. If you wanted to pull this to your current price action, you could argue that we are getting above this value area low, sitting at 82,102. But me personally, right, you could look at that as a potential sign of like, hey, we might be getting accepted into the range already. Maybe we're going to go up to the POC. But me personally, I'd rather watch this previous area before we broke down. So I'm going to keep, you could see how well this level's respected, right? This is how I found this TP on the trade. And you could see that TP, that final TP was tapped literally barely by the dollar, right? I'm just going to keep looking at this level. This level is respected, and it is marking out the previous area of balance, right? Like once we lost it here, it kind of negates the kind of thought that this is a balanced area, right? This is imbalance, and I really only want to look at the fair value, right? This is the fair value inside this range. This is not the fair value, so that is why I am keeping this range up here. And other than that, right, the level's just respected absolutely perfectly. So I'm going to keep looking at this level. I'm going to say, this is probably the one you want to flip to support in order to get the bigger move up. Value area low sitting at 83,613. POC sitting at about 89,406, and then the value area high is sitting at 91,289. So that is the local range. Understand that your zone here between 88 and 89,638 is your next major level of resistance. Once you get back into the range, I'd be taking more profit on my long position if we do make it up there. Be pretty nice in profit, to be honest. So I will take a little bit more of that off the table, and then if we can get the rest to ride to the value area high, that's great. And then again, we could look for shorts up at the value area high 786 confluence. That's the local context. That's how I'm playing it, right? We talk about looking for longs down here if we take that liquidity, or even from the long that we were in yesterday, which is technically the one I'm in right now, right? And we look to hold that into the previous value area low, and here we are. So that's what I'm looking at short term. I'm going to come in and check in on chat real quick, and then I will also I'll go over a little bit more of the long-term stuff and, what happens, Frankie, if we get a bigger move? What if it's not just a little fill of that volume profile? What if we keep on tanking along and we could get that bigger move? Where are we going? I'm going to break it down for you guys. Some people might like it. Some people might not. But, yeah, I'm just going to give you guys the raw information here on the charts. Don't shoot the messenger. Just, yeah. Let's see. Being crypto was like on the brink of being a millionaire or fully broke every other day. Shout out to Brock. Yeah. And yeah, we're going to talk about it. How bearish are you, Frankie? Shout out to Current Wave. I mean, listen, on the 2-day, I have to look. I am not bearish in the manner of like, at the end of the day, right? I am a trader. I'm a technical analyst. We are in an uptrend. This is still an uptrend. We talked about this even before we got the bigger breakdown, right? So like you'll notice my story will stay consistent until the charts prove me otherwise, right? I don't just like see a drop down and all of a sudden I'm super bearish, right? We have been looking for this move for quite some time. Ever since we were bong-bonging around in this range, we saw the daily money flow coming to the downside, right? Anticipating that bigger drop down, and we got it, right? I even talked about this in my 2025 Bitcoin prediction video when we were like, I think over here, right? Talking about how, we might, I'm potentially expecting a drop down to about $80,000 to $75,000, right? And that was all the way back here, I think in December when I made that video. Maybe it was early January. I don't remember exactly. You guys definitely go check it out because a lot of that information is still 100% valid, and it might make you feel a little bit better to hear me talk about this move down all the way back then, right? This has been anticipated for me. This did not come to a shock to the Mafia. I mean, even if you watch these live streams, especially not in the premium Discord, but like even on the live streams, right? I've been very vocal about, looking at that golden pocket 786 zone sitting right here. Right? Like we came down to that 80K. We even talked about how if we get that drop down, I'm not just going to get bearish because we're getting the dump, right? We're anticipating the dump. And what are we going to do? We're going to look for longs. We did, and we got the bounce, right? And then even on our Sunday market update 2 weeks ago, right, we retraced into a golden pocket 786 retracement, which is an area where we could have gotten a bigger rejection from. Now, I did not catch this short position, but this was actually, I actually looked at this in the premium Discord. Let me actually see if I could find this. We actually had short setups from the 2 key levels that we took a look at on that Sunday market update right here. There they are, right? Looking for the retracement into the golden pocket 786 for a potential lower high and a continuation down to where? To where, guys? Down to about $76,000 near this daily negative point of control / 786 Fibonacci retracement. What happens, right? We get that retracement into the Fibonacci retracement. You really cannot make this stuff up. I think it's this fib right here into the golden pocket 786. You put in the lower high. We know this is the area to look for the lower high, right? And to be quite honest, I did not catch that short. Kind of upsetting. I don't think I did. I don't think I did. I take so many trades on so many different accounts. Sometimes it gets blurry. But we did get the rejection from that 786 golden pocket. We were anticipating a potential continuation down to break structure into that 76K zone. We got it. Right? So we've been anticipating this move, and it was all based off money flow on the daily, right? So, just like I was bearish up here, right? More bearish, right? There was definitely a situation where we could have gotten a move up here, but based off the TA, I had to lean more bearish based off money flow. Right now, we have the 2-day money flow starting to cross over into the red. This could be another early warning sign, guys. And again, I don't necessarily fall in the camp that we're going into a traditional 4-year cycle bear market. However, I do think that we could still potentially see more pain ahead. And that doesn't, if we pump into tomorrow, that's great for the longs. This does not invalidate my thesis, right? Especially if we wind up getting a bigger retracement here, guys. If money flow continues out on these higher time frames, it'd be a pretty big warning sign, very similar to what we saw happen back here. Right, so I'm going to talk about a case if the bear market is in. I'll give a general thought. I'll give you my general thought process and kind of how I would expect it to play out. Right, it's going to be a speculative. It's going to be very speculative, but I just want to show you guys what I'm looking at here. So at the end of the day, how bearish am I? I mean, I'm definitely not. Oh my God, we're going down to 20K bearish, at least just yet. But we anticipated this move. We anticipated the bounce, right? We anticipated the rejection. We anticipated the push down to 76K. And this is not just me saying it. This is me showing it, right? This post was put in here on the 27th. Right, of February. So we look for this stuff and we get it to play out. And it's not just because I'm a magician. It's just we know how to read the charts in the CandleMafia, right? Especially in the premium. I don't hold anything back there. I show exactly what I look for to predict these moves. And I share all my thoughts every single day with the premium Discord. So this has been anticipated. So it's not this drop that is making me bearish. What is making me bearish, right, is the fact that we have money flow continuing out on higher time frames. This is very much a bearish sign, right? We said it back here during the last 7-month consolidation, right? Oh my God, money flow's crossing over into the red. We're probably going to be looking for a lackluster retracement and lower lows, right? Lower highs, lower lows. Oh my God, but we're pumping to the upside. This is a bearish retracement with money flow coming out. This is where you would be looking for another macro lower high. Where? At a golden pocket 786 for what? A lower high and a break of structure to the downside. The same exact thing we're looking at here. This is just basic Fibonacci theory with market structure, right? So that is why we've been expecting this. So obviously, I'm in a long position, right? So I can only be so bearish, right? Because I'm in a long. But this is, again, the long here. I just showed you the context of that long. It is to be a little bit of a scalp / day trade until proven otherwise. So I want to talk about the higher time frames here just to kind of hopefully ease some fears, right? I still don't think necessarily it's time to call for a bear market, right? Number one, we are very clearly in an uptrend, right? Like from a technical standpoint, even if we come down here and test these highs, right? This would still be an area that you would expect a potential test of before potentially getting another big move up. Now, whether this move breaks the all-time high or not is really what you're going to want to be watching, right? Because again, right, like this is a massive uptrend. This is not like, oh my God, we've broken critical highs. We're definitely going down to 20K, right? Or 30K, whatever it is. Maybe I'll talk about some of those targets. I'll probably cover them more in the pre-recorded video. But, at the end of the day here, guys, like this high, right? Like this is just like, if you're just looking at simple technical analysis, this high, right? Just like this whole zone here is very important, right? Because if you lose the 786, you would hope you could bounce here. The nice thing is you also have a very important golden pocket sitting there as well, right? The other good thing is you also have a value area high down there. The other good thing is you also have some daily naked points of controls down there, right? So I would say this is our next big confluent area of support. And I'm just going to say this right now. Just like when we came down here and I was not getting bearish, I looked for a bounce. And just like when we came down here, I was not getting overly bearish, and I'm in a long right now, putting my money where my mouth is, in that long position, right? This is really the next critical level of support. Technically, the golden pocket does start here at about 72.4, 72.2, right? So, at the end of the day, if you did come all the way down here, you could potentially look for a retest before it bounced to the upside. I think either way. Now, just because you have support down here does not mean you're definitely 100% going to come down here, bounce off into new all-time highs. Nobody can predict that. It's impossible, right? We might come down here and the charts might look like trash, right? And in that case, right, you're going to have to, take that new information into account, right, when you're trying to figure out what you want to do. But what I am saying is this is a very important level of support. Structurally, Fibonacci-wise, MPOC-wise, volume profile-wise, this is a huge, huge zone of support. And technically, it is a big level where you can look for a bounce. And if I were to measure this out, just so I can get this, I want to make sure you guys have the right levels here. So this is technically, this entire zone is sitting between about 72.2 and 67.270. That's between the golden pocket value area high, daily naked point of control, and your POC. For me personally, right, the reason I only have this, I have this highlighted separate than the top of the golden pocket is just very simply, there's not a lot of confluence here. In this zone, we have many levels. In this zone, we really only have the golden pocket. We don't have any real daily levels or anything like that. No MPOCs, anything like that. Really, the confluence is down here. So I actually like this lower zone better. But technically, the top of the golden pocket does start at about 72K, right? So at the end of the day, guys, this is an uptrend, right? From a chart standpoint, this is 100% an uptrend. It can't be argued. It's not really an opinion. It's just a fact, right? Now, obviously, locally, we are losing market structure here, and we are in a local downtrend. However, in the macro, right, if we come down here and play around, it is not necessarily a bad thing, right? Like the question is this drop down, if we get it, going to be a 36% bull market retracement before massive upside, or is it going to be the start of the bear market? And I'll tease it a little bit, right? I was going to talk about this in the pre-record, but I'll try to give you guys a little bit of kind of what I'm looking for. Chances are, if we do come down and test these highs, whether we bounce from here, right, and I am going to be, looking for the same thing on this bounce, if, wherever we get the stronger bounce from, maybe it happens from the 786. That's great. We're long from the low. I would love that. Although I do think that's maybe the lower probability scenario, it's great. We're set up for that. But if we do, whether we come up from here or we come down here first and we get the bounce, it's really the next major retracement that you really need to glue your eyes to the chart and start paying attention. Because if you are looking to figure out if this is the top of the bull market and this is the start of the bear market, right? Or if this is simply just a bull market correction, right, before a higher low and a continuation to massive upside, this is what I'm going to be looking at. The same thing we looked at over here. It is the same exact thing, right? A little bit of a different scenario, but the same exact thing. You have to wait for the retracements, and what do the charts look like on those retracements? In this case, on our retracement up, we had money flow coming out on the weekly, right? We had a blood diamond on the weekly. The charts looked like trash. On top of the confirmed weekly bearish divergences, on top of the monthly bearish divergences, on top of like the peak retail sentiment and all that good stuff. We had a lot of reasons. The liquidity sweep above the previous all-time high. On this retracement, things were looking weak, right? Oh my God, we're bouncing 100K, right? No. Money flow is coming out. Why would we go to 100K if money flow was leaving the asset or money was leaving the asset, right? And then you get the blood diamond. There was a lot of reasons to look for this. You could even, if you're a pattern person, right, you could look at that as a potential bear flag, right, for a breakdown lower. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be looking for something very similar, right? I want to see, and again, for me personally, right, I'm not really super panicked about the bear market being in, right, and this being the actual all-time high forever, not forever, but for this cycle. The only time I can really guarantee that, right, or say it's a very, very high probability, is if you start breaking the macro market structure. And in my opinion, right, we have a beautiful kind of roadmap here, because if we wiggle down here, you could say, like, this is the last level of defense, right? Like, I wasn't worried at 80K. I'm not worried at 76K. I'll be honest. I'm a little more worried here than I was up here, right? If we come down here, like, you got to bounce. If you don't bounce, it could be over, right? And I'm just going to say that flat out. But I don't personally fall in that camp, because I talked about this yesterday. Everybody's in a different situation, right? For me personally, listen, there's a lot of things up here that could have marked the top, right? We have the weekly bear div. Again, you guys kind of know how I feel about that. It's not the strongest bearish divergence, in my opinion. You have the weekly bear div, the monthly bear div. Have these mark tops of the bull market before? Yes, they did in 2021. Does it guarantee it's the top? Not in my opinion, right? We haven't really seen, right? We haven't seen we haven't seen QE yet. Right. And this comes to the point where like you really start doing high time frame analysis, like cycle analysis. Right. And if we pull up the cycle chart here really quickly, you guys, like the term right translated and left translated cycles pretty much just refers to, the top coming in further sooner in the cycle or later in the cycle. I do think, right, because we have not seen QE, maybe the bull market, and this is something I've talked about a while ago, maybe this bull market gets delayed. We talked about this even down here. Maybe this bull market just plays out a little bit differently, like they all do, right? Every bull market has played out and had its own little quirks. Blow off top, double top slash, bearish divergence, liquidity sweep, right? This one kind of had two tops as well. Every cycle's a little bit different. What if this time, right, and this is speculative, what if this time you wind up getting a lot of chop? And again, the weekly bear divs, the monthly bear divs, just because I don't think they are 100% marking the top does not mean that they cannot give you more pain. They could 100% give you more pain without the full bear market being in. But what happens if, we wind up wiggling down here, right? We get accepted into this lower volume profile and you kind of bing bong around here a little bit. And like this would feel like a bear market, right? And, whether you want to classify that as a bear market coming down to 60K or not, that's kind of I wouldn't consider it a traditional 4-year bear market unless we spent like an entire year down there or something. But, maybe we kind of bing bong around. Maybe we come down, we bing bong, right? And we have a little bit of a later peak in this cycle. This is definitely something that could happen, right? Because again, we are going to be a little bit of a slave to that QE coming in, especially for alt season to start. If we don't see the QE, right? Like, it doesn't matter what the 4-year cycle says, right? Because what is the QE and the loose monetary policy has been a catalyst for every single Bitcoin bull market, right? So if all the 4-year cycle things are lining up, like all the timing, this is why, it's like I love, like, anytime someone's like XRP going at $500 on this date at this time, it's like you can't call that, right? It's impossible. And that's why the 4-year cycles, you can only really use it as an estimation. And we've done that before, and we've done very well doing that. But, when you look at this, at the end of the day, we could wind up kind of bing-bonging around. It could just take longer than we're expecting, right? And once that QE, that's why it's hard for me to call the top of the cycle here, right? Because we haven't seen QE, right? We haven't seen the altcoin season because those two are reliant on each other, right? Or at least altcoin season is reliant on QE. But this is, what happens if everything comes down here and everyone's calling for a bear market, and then all of a sudden they start cutting rates, the QE starts, right? And then you wind up getting the massive all-time highs. Right? And it's a what if. I know that, right? And again, I'm going to talk about right now, before we go into the altcoins, I'm going to talk about, where I'd be really concerned about the start of the bear market. Like almost if this was a standalone video, which it probably will be the title of the video when I make it, the bear market starts here, right? I'm going to give you guys like a little bit of what I'm going to look for, right? This is not enough to call for that. The market structure is still bullish, right? We are still in an uptrend 100%, right? We have not broken this high. Once you get stuck under this high and you can't get back above it, that is where maybe it's a head and shoulders bear market, right? Everyone will be like, that was the head and shoulders bear market, right? And it's like, no, there were a lot of signs. But, if once you wind up breaking below that low, like that is where you don't want to get stuck in here. And again, we have this volume profile up here that we're going to be using for context, right? You start breaking below that golden pocket, right? And you can't get back above, you start losing that POC, you're going to be looking for a move down to the bottom of the range, right? At least once you lose the golden pocket, you're going to be looking for the 786, right? So even at that point, right, you're only down 45%. We've seen unexpected things in the market, just like here. I've been covering this a lot. Just like back here, 55% dump before coming back to up to all-time highs. Maybe that's the move, right? And again, I'm not saying this is guaranteed to happen, but if we start losing that golden pocket in this POC, guys, it is very likely we're going to come down to that range low, right? And again, that 786 is confluent too. So once you lose the golden pocket, you're expecting the 786 anyway. Once you lose the PLC, you're expecting the value area low, and those are confluent levels. So when we look at this, what am I going to be looking at for the bear market, right? Well, just in general, I'm going to be looking at the same exact thing that I looked for in 2021, right? The weekly money flow crossover, which as you can see, again, I don't want anyone to think just because I don't think there's enough on the chart for me to call for a bear market, right? The whole point of this would be to hopefully front run the start of the bear market, right? So like, although this is not enough for me to say the bear market's over, right? This is why a lot of the pain, a lot of the bearish sentiment you're seeing, guys, is a lot of people who are buying into too late, right? Like exit liquidity, boom, right? for somebody like me or somebody like anyone in the Candle Mafia that's been watching this channel forever, right? We were buying in down here, right? So like this push to the downside is not a big deal to me, right? I do not really feel a lot of pain here. Sure, I'm down a lot of profit, right? But I am not down on my Bitcoin. I'm still massively up on my Bitcoin. And at the end of the day, this could be a small cool off, right? Even if you come in and play in here, right? Before another bounce to the upside. I do think if we do come down here, I will say this. I think you're going to get some kind of a bounce either way. If it's the bounce to the all-time high or not is a different story. So what I will be looking for, guys, is very simple. And it's the same thing I teach here every single weekday. Pulling my fib from the high, pulling my fib. And remember, guys, if you're pulling your fib, please, for the love of God, pull it in the privacy of your own home. You don't want to wind up in trouble. I've tried it before, and yeah, just pull your fib in private. Anyway, depending on where we come down to, right, wherever that bigger bounce comes in, whether it comes in right here, get out of here, malware bites. We're trying to teach the mafia. But yeah, whether we come up from here or we get the drop down to the golden pocket / these structural highs here and we get the bigger bounce up, we are going to be looking for that big retest. When that big retracement happens, guys, you are going to be wanting to watch the charts like a hawk. Because if we come up in here and we start retracing into these big levels, remember $100,000 has a whole lot of liquidity sitting above. And I will just show it right here. Let me make sure this is the right chart. That is 110. Let me bring up the actual heat map. Where we at? Let me pull up the 1 month. Where's the 1 month chart? Give me the 1 month. But just remember, right, we talk about this almost every day, right? So I think you guys know we have a lot of liquidity sitting about above 100K. But let's say we retrace from here in a big way. I am going to be watching the market like a hawk here, because if we push up and we sweep that liquidity into the golden pocket 786, this could be a huge area to put in a lower high before massive lower lows. And I think if you did something like this, that lower low is not going to be what people are looking for, and definitely not what people want. And you might ask yourself, Frankie, if we get a massive rally like this, why would you even be looking for a lower high? Wouldn't you just be looking for all-time highs? And the answer to that question is probably not. And more importantly, it depends on one very specific thing. And it's going to depend on the money flow, guys. Because if we push up to those levels and this money flow on the 2-day, on the 3-day, right, if all this money flow continues out, right, and especially if we get another drop down and we can get this money flow in the red a little bit before the retracement, it gives that money flow room to come up and then back down. If we come up here, guys, and there are bearish signs at this golden pocket 786 with high time frame money flow coming up, like in this case, 2-day money flow crosses over into the red, I have to anticipate lower highs and lower lows to come in, even if it's a massive rip to the upside like this, right? Because our full Fibonacci retracement comes in right here between about 96.7, and somebody said 97K, like that is being a next key level. This is right confluent with that area, right? Golden pocket 786 comes up to about 102K, right? So maybe, right, if this is going to be the bear market, you better pray that if we do come back up here, that money flow is not continuing out, because if it is, your boy Frankie Candles is going to fire some warning shots, and I'm probably going to get hated for it, and we might get up there, guys, and it might start looking good. And in that case, there's obviously going to be a bullish case and a bearish case. I'm always going to let you know which way I'm leaning, which way the TA is pointing towards more. But if there's a bullish case, we will be looking at it and we will be praying for it. But if there are bearish signs up here, guys, at the end of the day, money flow indicates the overall trend. So if you bounce, you have to be looking for the lower highs. Where are the lower highs likely to come in at? Very simply put, between the golden pocket and the 786. And to add insult to injury here, depending on where this anchored VWAP comes in, that might be another big level to look at, because as we come up, this anchored VWAP might wiggle its way down, and we might not come all the way up to the macro golden pocket, just like we did in 2021, right? When we were looking at here, let me get rid of this, right? When we were looking here, right, you got the big move down, but what happened? You never made it all the way to that golden pocket. Where'd you reject? Well, you really just rejected this local golden pocket, right? From this local swing high to the swing low, right? Come up, put the lower high in on the golden pocket 786, right? Maybe you had an anchor VWAP here or not. Maybe not. I don't know. We could even check it. It would be pretty funny if there was. Maybe this one, or maybe the previous. No, probably not the previous high. Oh, man, I'm going to have to go into. Yeah, it was. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But it's a similar situation here. So you might say, like, well, hey, if we don't make it all the way up there, which, to be honest, this would be a pretty big retracement. We'd be breaking these highs. Where would that next high be potentially coming in at? Well, we might have already rejected it, right? Now, if we come in again, right, we get another retracement. These are some of the levels we might want to be aware of, right? So I'm just going to tell you, mark off this on your chart right now. And again, does that guarantee the start of the bear market now? It really depends on how quickly we come up there, right? If we come up there right now, right, we come up, we get the bearish retest, right? We get bearish confirmations, and we get the continuation down, again, based off money flow, not just because I feel bearish, right? Money flow makes you anticipate the lower high and the lower low. This could be a big level to look at, right? Sitting between 87.9, 81, and 91.381. Right? So we come up here. This would be another big level to watch as well, especially if money flow is coming out. If we come up here sooner than later, you might be able to see a situation where like, hey, this looks pretty bad, but then you just come down to retest the highs. Maybe you bing bong around, and then maybe you send it up. At the end of the day, it is very, very difficult to say if this cycle is completely over. Because again, if we have a right translated cycle, which is definitely possible, especially when you start thinking about QE, imagine thinking it's all over, selling all your bags at a massive loss, only for QE to come in. Maybe it's not next week, maybe it's not next month, maybe it's not till 6 months from now, right? But when that comes in and they send it back to the upside and you sell at a massive loss, that's just something I'm not willing to do. And again, if it means that you're going to have to hold onto your certain cryptos for a loss and just round trip them, I know everyone's in a different situation. Like I said, I am definitely safe on my Bitcoin at this point. When I see massive warning signs, maybe I'll start to shed off some profit. But, at this point, right? Like you really have to think it's not just a simple yes or no, is the bear market here, right? We have to see something pop up on the chart. And for me personally, if we come down to these highs, again, unless we come up from here, right? Maybe we front run the 786, we get the big retracement. But at the end of the day, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be waiting for the next significant retracement. You want to wait for the next time everybody is bullish. Wait until the next time when people are saying, we're so back. Oh my God, I can't believe people thought it was the bear market. When things are going up, this is where you want to put on your bear goggles. You don't have to feel bearish. You could feel bullish. You can enjoy your long positions going deep into profit. That's great. But do not lose sight of the money flow, because if this money flow is coming out and you are looking for lower highs and lower lows, you are going to know the key levels because you watch the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. You're going to know the key levels to be looking at, right? Maybe it's the anchored VWAP with the golden pocket sitting over here, right? You're going to want to look at the significant golden pocket retracements, and obviously we're here every single weekday, so when this happens, you guys will have the levels that I'm personally looking at. There's a few different ones that we can look at. I can't guarantee that we're definitely going to get the full golden pocket 786. This would be nice because it gives us the opportunity to sweep the liquidity above 100K into the macro 786, which is the last area where we would look for a lower high before breaking structure to the downside. And maybe that is the start of the bear market. But if money flow looks like garbage up here and things are not looking bullish on the charts, everyone is, regardless of what your chart tells you, regardless, when this happens, people are going to be calling for all-time highs. YouTubers are going to be calling for alt season. But at the end of the day, guys, you got to be careful. And even if it looks like garbage up here and it's not the full bear market, it might give you an opportunity to sell out of some of your bags, because if a lot of people, if you were buying Bitcoin up here and you're at a loss, you might be able to at least sell out at break even. And again, that's only if you have the bearish confirmations, right? If it's looking like trash up here, you might want to be like, hey, let me get out and try to buy back lower. I can't tell you what to do with your bag. But if things look like garbage here, you bet your bottom dollar and be shorting this thing, right? And because at that point, right, like you've put in a macro retracement into a high probability area to put a lower high in. You've swept massive liquidity above. And then at the end of the day, right, like can't guarantee that you get all the way up there. So you're going to have to be looking at the local retracements as well, which again, this one has already been rejected, which we've already looked for. So hopefully we can get another bigger retracement. But when that happens, that's where you want to pay attention. When everyone's calling for all-time highs, oh my God, we're so back. That's where you want to be looking. Is money flow saying we're so back? Because if not, don't listen to anybody online. Right? Not even me, right? If I'm sitting here and money flow looks like trash and I'm saying we're bullish, don't listen to that guy, right? Don't listen to Frankie Candles. But anyway, that's what I'm really looking for, right? So, at the end of the day, just to kind of give you guys some peace of mind, massive uptrend. We have not even come down to tap these lows yet. Technically, we can come down here, tap these, and then continue on to higher prices. But that bounce, bringing you up to higher prices as far as all-time highs, is a big if, because we can come down here, get the bounce, lower high, lower low. And that money flow right now on the 2-day is for sure. If you're going to see this come into a traditional 2-day red money flow wave, it could wind up giving you a big drop. So there you go. Now, if it's the bear market, how low are we going to go? I know that's a big question a lot of people have. I'd probably be looking at first, right? Again, it always comes down to liquidity. If we come back down into this range, obviously the value area low sits at about 59K. Again, this is not anywhere near a bear market retracement, right? Bear market retracements typically bring us down to about, 70+%, right? I think 76% was the previous one. And that's where I am looking at our macro volume profile from 2021. Right, so obviously we can use this 7-month consolidation for local levels, right? Maybe we come down, right? If you get the bounce, once you get under here, you're going to be looking to respect this range. Once you lose this range, though, right, Probably a lot of liquidity sitting down here from the 7-month range. All that liquidity built up below, right? So you have a lot of liquidity sitting below this range low, right? And then also you have some, you have your previous volume profile from the 2021 bull market, right? Which is another thing that we can look at. So, again, I'm going to try to make a video about this. I really want to make like a well thought out video on what I think here. But if we do see that happen, right, we have this value area high at a 54K, right? So we wind up, potentially maybe it looks something like a head and shoulders. We come back down. We start losing this value area high, right? Move down to the POC at 46K. This will be a huge level of support. This would give you a move of about 57%. Like, is that enough for a traditional bear market? No. Is it enough for some kind of a fake out bear market like we saw in 2021? Yes, right? Is the bottom of this value area enough for a fake out bear market like we got in 2021? Yes, right? That brings you about 44% down, maybe in a sweep of liquidity into 50-55%, right? Like, in order for that full bear market, if you're looking for a full bear market, and at that point, right, like if we're going to go down here, even if it is a little mini bear market, that's going to be, a lot of people who are buying up here are going to feel that pain, right? It's going to feel like a regular bear market to them. But if you do wind up coming down here, right, and we're going to go into a full traditional bear cycle, right? Like this, spend a good amount of time at the lows, if it's going to be 74%, 76%, something like we've seen in the past, right? It's going to bring you dang near that value area low, right? From this value area, we lose it. We're going to look to get attracted to this value area. Once we lose this value area, you're probably going to get accepted into this one, right? So that's kind of the roadmap of where I would think, right, a full bear market would play out to. Right? And then you come down here, you hang out at the lows for a while, and then you wind up sending it back up, right? But again, I think, to be honest, using the 4-year cycle at this point, right? Just trying to time when the bear market would happen. I think it just adds more noise into the market, right? Like it just makes it a little bit more cloudy, and that's why I'm sticking more towards the charts, right? Because again, if we have a right translated cycle, you could potentially play around in here, right? Maybe dip down, and like it could get really brutal, right? And then you send it off to all-time highs towards the end of the cycle, right? That could be a situation we see play out. But as of right now, very simply put, we are making higher lows and higher highs. This is an uptrend, right? So this is not a bear market yet. The only thing you can say here, in my opinion, is this the start of the bear market? And I am willing and open to that scenario, obviously, as a trader, especially with 2-day money flow coming out. There's reason to look for this potentially, even with the weekly money flow. Like, maybe it comes back up here with that green dot in a big way. But technically right now, that weekly money flow is in the red, right? Like, it's definitely not pretty. But for me, what I would like to see is a big retracement, and I'd like to see where and how we reject the retracement levels, right? And then that would give me a big warning sign. Weekly money flow continuing out in a big way here. 2-day, 3-day, 4-day money flow coming out into the red as we're retracing. This would be more of a situation like back here where you get a retracement, money flow continues out, and that big next drop, which breaks a structure to the downside, would be very likely. I know that's a lot to take in, but I wanted to cover that, guys, because I know a lot of people, like, I just see all this stuff, bear markets here, bear markets here, bear markets here. It could be, right? But for me personally, I need to see an actual reason to call for it. Right now, we are still in bullish market structure. So there you go. I don't want to beat that dead horse. We covered this a lot last live stream, so I don't want to cover it too in depth. Let's see. I sold my Bitcoin at 106K, held all my alts though, and almost in the red for some. Shout out to Chucks. Yeah, the alts are, and again, shout out to Chucks, who thinks the bear market is in. I should say everybody is worried about the bear market being in. But yeah, I mean, like, the sentiment is just like brutal out there. It's everybody's just like, oh my God, what is going on, right? But at the end of the day, we haven't even seen QE here, right? And again, like, we could potentially see more pain until we get QE, which might take some time. So, again, just because I don't think the bear market is in does not mean that we cannot endure more pain, right? If we come down and play with these highs, like, that is still not bear market for me. If we start losing this and come down to the value area low, technically percentage-wise, it's not really bear market territory, and we still have bounced from levels like this before in bull markets. But again, I think it's going to be more tied to the actual QE, right? It's gonna turn like a dime when that happens, if that happens, right? Or I shouldn't say if, but I should just say when, right? I can't say when, but whenever it does happen, very likely we're gonna see things turn around in a huge way. Shout out to James, said, so what's the news? We going up or more pain? I think locally we have an opportunity to go back up. Short term, right? It's very hard, right? Because like over the next 3 hours, over the next 2 days, and over the next week is three different answers. We do have some like very hyper local levels, right? Or very hyper local bearish divergences, which could give us a little pullback from here, right? But with the 1 hour money flow overall, what I am looking for is if that 1 hour money flow crosses into the green with our 16-hour green dot, maybe we get a little cool off, but it would make us anticipate a potential continuation of the trend to the upside. And then once we break above this value area low, that's where I'd look for the bigger move into the golden pocket POC. Understanding that anchored VWAP pulled from this high here at 92,795 is also going to be, coming somewhere in here. Depending on how quickly we come up, this will obviously move. But yeah, it's, it depends. It's a loaded question. Are we going up or down? It really depends, right? Technically, hyperlocal, probably down, but then maybe, less hyperlocal, continuation up, right? Overall, like higher time frame, looking at the daily, like definitely still in danger of continuation to the downside. Overall, bull market territory, we're still safe, right? So, are we going up or down is a totally loaded question. It really depends on the context of the situation. But for me personally, right, like till we break these highs, guys, like, this is still a level we can come down and test with still being technically sound. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. If you missed the local TA, you can scrub back to the beginning of the stream. I break down this local range and exactly what I'm expecting. Let's see. Shout out to Chuck said, to be fair, when I say almost in the red, I mainly mean for ETH. Shout out to Chucks. Let's see. Shout out to Rad Capital said, Frankie, call Satoshi. I'm full account long from the bottom with TP1 and stop loss at entry. Shout out to Rad Capital. Let's go, baby. Let's call Satoshi and pump it for our boy Rag. Let's get it, bro. And shout out to Rag, bro. You don't even need the call to Satoshi. You're safe. Guaranteed winning trade, bro. You should brag about that to your friends. I'm in a guaranteed winning trade. Not a lot of people can do that. Not because it's hard to take the trade, but it's hard to manage the risk enough to make it guaranteed. Bear market is for ETH. Shout out to Robert. I would actually argue, right? Obviously, you would think that, obviously if Bitcoin continues down, Ethereum is going to follow suit, obviously. But where are we at? 2025. Here we go. Bada boom. So let's take a look at ETH real quick. We have our lower levels on ETH. I'm going to come into the chat real quick, and then we'll go back into ETH in a second. Shout out to Creighton C. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yo, shout out to Creighton C, bro. Showing so much love on the live streams, bro. I appreciate you. He said, Frankie, you wick the March top into the GP. It makes for a nasty bull trap. Shout out to Creighton C. You wick the March top into the golden pocket. Let's see that. Let's see. Wick the March top into the golden pocket. Are you talking about this, like the current March top, which would be this into the golden pocket? Probably would be beautiful. Question is, what golden pocket? I assume that one. Wick the March high? Yeah. I mean, we do have liquidity sitting up here as well, right? We actually talked about this on the live stream when we were sitting up here, right? Saying, hey, if we get this move up, right, we have a lot of liquidity up here. Could get the wick into the POC. But now the golden pocket is there. Could be interesting, right? And again, that's partially the, yeah, I mean, that would make a lot of sense, right? Or wick the 100K if you wanted to go for a bigger move, right? If you do wiggle up here, wick it into the golden pocket, that would be a sound place to put a macro lower high in before coming back down to lower prices. Or wick in above that $100,000 liquidity into the 786, right? And then hopefully we could just yeet off into all-time highs. But if it looks like garbage up here, I got to bring the bearish news, guys. I gotta say what's on the charts. Please don't shoot the messenger. Please, for the love of God. Hey, yo, Jason Casper in the chat. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for the super chat. He said, Frankie, can we organize both our communities to 100x full account long at the same time to manipulate price upward? Shout out to Jason, bro. We were actually just talking about this. Bro, let's do it. You think we can move price? We talked about this once before. I wonder if we could just like amass 100x long on between both of our communities. That would be fire. Shout out to Jason Casper. Bro, let's do it. Sign me up, dude. Let's go. Full port, 100x long, all at the same time, no stop loss, and then send it up to 150. Send it up to 150, baby. Let's go. On a weekend, definitely. Shout out to Jason, bro. Let's do it. We'll call it, I don't know. We'll name it like a secret coordinated event. We'll call it like, I don't know. We'll have to think of a cool name. Shout out to Jason. Let's do it, bro. We'll do like a weekend stream, and we'll just chill there, and We'll either move price up and everyone gets rich, or we'll all get wrecked together and we can go out together singing Kumbaya. I would love that. Shout out to Jason. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's see. The secret event. Yeah, what would we call it? The Frankie's airstrike. Yo, we could probably come up with a five. And we could do this. We should just recruit. Get everyone to recruit their friends. 100x long. I think we could do it. Operation Candlestick. I love it. I think we do it. Flatsmack said, LOL YouTubers can't move price, but can their whole community on 100x move price? Shout out to Flatsmack. We'll Flatsmack those market makers right in the face, baby, on the weekend while they're sleeping. Shout out to Jason Casper. Thank you for the super chat again, bro. Operation Ghost Candle. Oh, boy. Yo, I love that. Operation Ghost Candle. That's it, bro. That's the perfect name. Operation Ghost Candle. The Underground Moonshot. Yo, you guys have some good names. Not going to lie. Maybe we'll vote on a name. Operation Chickens. Yo, that'd be hilarious. Yo, shout out to Jason, bro. When we did our stream together, I randomly, I don't know where I was that I found in my downloads, our like promo poster where I was like holding sauce and you had the chicken, bro. I was cracking up. That was low-key a fire promo poster. I think Tony D made that. It was hilarious. I saw that and I'm just like, this is hilarious. Let's see. Yo, P-Dub said no stop loss. I love when the Mafia talks dirty. Hey, yo, shout out to P-Dub. Annual meeting of the World Economic Forum. Shout out to, is that the name? Is that what we're going to call it? Let's see. I did make that. Shout out to Tony D. He did make it. Let's go. Shout out to Mitz said 2 goats Kool-Aid. Shout out to Mitz. Okay, so let's see. Let's continue on here. Go for a vote. Shout out to Lev. Yeah, maybe we'll do a vote. You guys are funny. Biceps and calves. Operation bicep calves. Yeah. Sorry, Jason, you're gonna have to take the biceps, bro. I got you on the calves, though. I can provide calves. That will buy some chickens. Yeah. Shout out to F1. But anyway, let's continue on here. Operation Ghost Candlestick is the running name right now, guys. We'll keep you updated on the secret mega pump incoming. Maybe we can get Golden in on it too. He could probably help us out a lot. Operation Rug Pull. Shout out to Flat Smack. Hopefully it's not Operation Mass Liquidation. That would be brutal. But let's continue on here. So yeah, I guess let's jump on into Ethereum. I guess is kind of where we're at, right? We already covered Bitcoin, long term, short term, kind of what we're looking at. We showed the long. Yeah, so let's go ahead and jump on into Ethereum real quick. If you guys want to see your favorite altcoins, go ahead and drop them into the chat right now. Is Rob here today? I think Rob is here at Operation Plunger Cav. Shout out to Dave Digital. That's a good one too. Call it the Crypto Summit. Literally send it to the top of the mountain. Shout out to John Boy. Shout out to John Boy. Yo, Tony says Operation Ghost Candle low-key cooks. Yeah, it does. Operation Phoebe, that's a good one too. But yeah, drop your alts in the chat, guys. We got okay, I'm back. Why are we beating dead horses? Shout out to Tyler Durden. Hey, bro. Hey, we love horses out here. I don't know why this is going making a bad name for me saying I like to beat animals. Shout out to Tyler Durden. Oh, Tyler fired him again. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Okay, no problem. He'll be back maybe. Hopefully Tyler gives him his job back. But let's go ahead and yeah, let's I guess Darren, if you want to do the alt list, if you could do let's get like 2 requests, 3 requests. Like I said, guys, I haven't really been sticking on the alts for too much this recently just cuz listen, in my opinion, guys, someone asked me yesterday, like, what altcoins am I buying? I am not buying any altcoins right now. I am sitting on the sidelines. We took a look at Total 3 yesterday. We took a look at Bitcoin dominance yesterday and kind of why I'm not really, like, diving headfirst into altcoins just yet. I do think that we probably have a decent amount of time to at least pick up altcoins at a discount. Obviously, a lot of them are on discount. And just be careful, right? Like, I'm not saying that I don't want this bounce to be the bounce. Like, hopefully it is, right? But at the end of the day, right, like, don't be getting excited if we get a massive massive bounce, right? And it's only to put in a macro lower high for lower lows, right? Like a lot of people will get bullish on these moves only, right? And and again, not saying that there would never be a reason to be bullish on these moves, but if we're getting this move, just being bullish off the green candlesticks, we showed this yesterday and why this is so dangerous. You know, after you get a big rip to the downside, a significant retracement is to be expected, right? It doesn't just mean like once you get a couple green candles on the daily that it's off to the races. And you don't want to be one of those people buying up on those pumps if it's going to roll back over. So you have to be very, very careful. And I think we're probably going to have a decent amount of time to pick up alts at a discount here, right? And until the looser monetary policy comes in, until the QE comes in, right, we could potentially anticipate more pain, right? So yeah. But as far as Ethereum goes, right, like as far as key levels, right, got down to the value area highs, what we were looking at on Friday, saying, hey, if we lose this range, we're probably going to come play around with this volume profile. We came down. We bounced off the value area high just barely, got accepted back into the range, back down to the POC. We played around with the POC, got back on top of it, back to the high, back to the POC. And right now, we are attempting to break out here, attempting to get a push to the upside. However, when we look at this on Market Cypher B, let's see if there's any possibility that we could potentially get the bigger breakout. I would say this, right? Money flow in the 1 hour. This is the best case for a continuation up locally. If we get the 1 hour money flow crossover, which we do have a red dot incoming, so you do have a little bit of a mixed signal there, slightly. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if you see some low time frame noise. But if that money flow continues into the green, right, with a 16-hour green dot, which may or may not print very soon here. We got about an hour. I mean, it could print right now if it wanted to, but we have another hour to print another candlestick. We'll get more information on this candle in about an hour and 4 minutes. But if that green dot prints on the 16-hour, that 1 hour money flow crossover into the green on ETH might be the thing to look for the bigger move to the upside. In which case, I will be looking for this golden pocket retracement. I can move this down now, right? Because this has now moved. Bada boom. Bada bing. And then we got the 786 Fibonacci retracement sitting right here. And yeah, this would be the next targets to the upside, right? Get above the value area high. Again, this is resistance. But if we are able to get the breakout on that 1 hour money flow crossover, golden pocket sitting between about, at about $2,000 would be the first key level. Get above that. I would look to come into the 786 value area low confluence sitting between about $2,059 and $2,100. And very similar to Bitcoin, once we get above that value area low, we could potentially look to get acceptance into the range and start moving back towards that POC. Now, again, I would still, even if we see a bigger move, now when we start to zoom out, you see this could look like a pretty significant move, right? But this does not mean automatic bull run, automatic alt season, right? This could just be a lackluster retracement. And to be quite honest, I would, just based off of ETH feeling so much more pain than Bitcoin at this point, I'd be more willing to accept a bigger move up on Ethereum than Bitcoin, right? Like Ethereum is all the way back down almost, right? If we zoom out here, right, it's down to 2022 prices almost, right? Like 2023 prices right now, but almost back down to 2022 prices. So, this thing won't go down forever, right, in a straight line. So, if anything, right, just based off of how much drawdown we've already seen on Ethereum, I would definitely not be, not that I'm not interested in shorting Ethereum at any point, but as of right now, right, I would not really be looking to just FOMO short ETH right now. It's already seen a ton of pain. There's probably some kind of bounce coming in here. But locally, right, within the next day or so, right, maybe we can get back up to the value area low. That would be the first major, big roadblock because, if we do get back above there, we can get the bigger move up. If we don't get the move down there or move back up there, we could potentially see a lower high and then a lower low, potentially targeting deeper into this range. So at the end of the day, your local profile remains the same, 1941 value area high, POC at 1848, and then your value area low at 1645 with your 786 just beneath you, right? So, maybe we continue, if we do continue or continue to get stuck inside this range, lose the POC, look to go to the value area low. I'd probably be interested in swing longs on Ethereum here, assuming that everything looks, decent. If it looks like garbage, I'm not just going to long for no reason. I'm not just going to long support because it's support. But that's your local range. If we break out, this is the roadmap that I would look at. Once you flip that value area low, that opens up the door. So your doorway to higher prices is about $2,100, and other than that, you're just within your local range. So yeah, other than that, that's pretty much what I'm looking at on Ethereum. Not too much to update there. We can take a quick look at Solana. Yo, shout out to Leonsky says, when will there be a guessing what you have on the table event? Shout out to Leonsky. We'll do that soon. If we get 1,000 likes on tonight's live stream, we're gonna give away a free month of the premium to somebody on Friday. If we maybe tomorrow we'll do a guess what's on my desk. We'll give away like I don't know. We'll give away something. We'll give away crypto or something like that, or maybe we'll give away a random object on my desk. Maybe we'll give away the remote for the Frankie Candle sign. That way, you could sit at home and control the sign while we're live. I'm just kidding. That wouldn't work. But yeah, they will. Yeah, Chick-fil-A sauce. Actually, hilariously enough, guys, like my desk, I clean my desk completely. I clean my desk almost every Friday. Sometimes Mrs. Candles does it. But for some reason, I think she thinks that the Chick-fil-A sauce is just a prop now. So she just like leaves it on the desk. So this Chick-fil-A sauce has been on the desk since we guessed it. Like, do you have to refrigerate this? I mean, it's still sealed. So yeah, we keep that Chick-fil-A barbecue sauce, guys. This is the key to the market. This is the key to the market. So yeah, usually the bear market though. Barbecue sauce, you know, you don't want to get barbecued in the market. But anyway, let's continue on here. Box of Magnums. Shout out to Philly Skills. There are cameras in here. Anyway, I call dibs on the stapler. Shout out to Clay the Great. Yo, you guys are hilarious. All right, let's continue on. Yo, shout out to Luna. All right, let's continue on here. So that's what I'm looking at for Ethereum. Those are the key levels, right? Like, again, nothing has really changed here. We'll see if we can get that 16-hour green dot with the 1 hour money flow crossover into the green. That's your ticket to get the move on out of here, get above that 786, get above that value area low, get the bigger move up. If not, if that signal with the 1 hour money flow crossover and 16-hour green dot does not wind up printing, it might just get stuck in this range. If you lose the POC, I'd look for the bigger drop down. Take a look at the daily here. Daily, yeah, no divergence. Yeah, nothing really to take away from the daily. Let's check on that weekly. Yeah, weekly VWAP still there. Weekly money flow in the red here for Ethereum. It's typically not a great sign. Although on Ethereum, more than Bitcoin, on Ethereum, you know, the money flow crossover is kind of just like one last push down, and then you kind of settle down and get the move up. Obviously, you settled down here for quite some time. You went, you know, basically sideways for 518 days. But that's what that's what I'm looking at on Ethereum for the most part. Take a look at Solana. Let's take a quick look at Solonzo. Shout out to our boy James Kramer. Poor James Kramer. Poor guy. Never catches a break. I bet you he's not even that bad, to be honest. Poor guy gets roasted. I mean, he does pick the worst time to talk about crypto. He really does. I mean, yeah. Feel bad for him. Actually, I don't feel bad for him. He's probably doing great. But anyway, let's continue on here. So let's see here. Yeah, so Solana, obviously yesterday we looked at the deviation below our range low. This is not where you get overly bearish on Solana or any asset as you're deviating below the volume profile, right? This is where you're looking at this as a cheap asset, right? Looking for a run back into your value area low, which is what we got here. Actually, this fib would run down. So yeah, you're pretty much getting a rejection of your full, right? Because yesterday we were looking at this golden pocket, pulled from this out of this low, but we've now made a new low, so you just have to adjust that fib slightly, right? So 786 here. So when you get that run to the upside, you're going to be looking to come into that golden pocket 786, and that 786 was pretty confluent with your value area low, right? So this, and then you have a tap daily here. Yeah, so let's see here. Let's check that 1 hour. Is that 1 hour money flow coming up? It's trying to come up. 1 hour money flow attempting to come to the upside here with your 16-hour green dot printing. So, you know, same thing. 16-hour green dot with the 1 hour money flow crossover into the green is kind of your ticket to, you know, locally higher prices here for the altcoins and Bitcoin in general. But at this point, right, like we can just kind of get rid of this golden pocket because it's tapped. I'll leave that 786 because that might be the level that you reject. But at the end of the day here, let me pull up move this to the value area. Tap daily is there. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, you got to get above that 786, right? Get above the 786. That would open your door to, got to move this one as well, your next golden pocket, which would technically be something like this. Right? Flip that 786 value area low. Might open the door to your bigger golden pocket sitting between 137 and 138.70. Right, so this would be what I would look for if you could reclaim this value area low. Just simple volume profile stuff, to be quite honest with you guys, right? Like, technically, this is a deviation below your low. Get back above here. The next place for price to likely go is where? Somebody let me know in the chat. Exactly. Shout out to Creighton C. Shout out to Flatsmack. POC 786 Confluence, right? Now, obviously, you want to understand the golden pocket is sitting there, but at the end of the day, right, overall, based off the laws of the volume profile, flip that value area low, look to go eventually start your journey into the POC, flip that POC /786, right? Going to be another big level of resistance to look for a potential higher time frame lower high. But if you get above that 786, you can look for a push up into the golden pocket or the bigger 786 value area high confluence. So, this is just overall your general range, right? And even if I just remove all the short zones, right? Like you're just looking at this as a volume profile. Right, you remove all the fibs as well. You want to understand kind of what your roadmap is going to look like, what price will likely reject and react off of on your way up. But at the end of the day, simply put, value area low, hold it as support, POC, flip the POC, look to go to the value area high, obviously anticipating all the noise that those other intermediary levels are going to give you, right? So watch those levels. This is, tapping on the doorway to higher prices, but those doorways to higher prices are oftentimes resistance until proven otherwise. So you got to get up there and flip that level in order to see higher prices, in my own personal opinion, right? And then again, I would love this 45-minute money flow to come back over into the green, especially with that 16-hour green dot and 12-hour green dot printing. And this is another thing I didn't even really talk that much about on Bitcoin, right? Obviously, with that 16-hour green dot, you do have the bullish divergences. Again, I would take these with a little bit more of a grain of salt, in my own personal opinion, just because with all the selling pressure, right, you can't just expect every bull div to give you a massive move up, but they are there, right? So, with the 16-hour green dot, 1 hour money flow crossover into the green with these bull divs, hopefully we can get a little bit of a bigger retracement to the upside. And hopefully it's not just to retrace and then reject for massive lower prices. So hopefully not. But yeah, same thing on Solana. You do have the 16-hour bull div as well, the 12-hour bull div. Kind of the same song and dance there. Money flow still kind of looking gross here, though. 12-hour money flow. Look at that. Ugh, just coming down. Pretty gross. But yeah. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Shout out to Lucho. Welcome in, bro. He wants to see H-bar. We could try to take a look at H-bar. No problemo. Shout out to Nick Dunn. Said Franklin Templeton. Which boasts a total of 1.53 trillion worth of assets under management, has filed to launch an XRP. I thought you were calling me Franklin Templeton. Shout out to Nick Dunn. I am looking to launch an ETF. I'm just kidding. Shout out to Nick Dunn. That's hilarious. Franklin Templeton's hilarious. Is that a real person? Because that name is legendary. Shout out to Nick Dunn. Honest opinion on where honest opinion of where XRP is. I will take a look at XRP right now. Shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for the super chat. Said Casper has time to stream, do TA, work, walk while doing TA, and still smash the like button. Where is your like? Like perceived is like achieved. Shout out to Creighton C. Smash that like button if you guys have not already, if you're enjoying the free sauce that we give you every weekday at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And shout out to Jesse. Said, did everybody hit the like button? No? Don't hesitate to do it now. Shout out to Jesse, our like police. Thank you so much for saying that, bro. And thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Let's see. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything here in the chat. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Flatsmack. Said, I watched Kramer on CNBC this morning. Dude is still a complete whack job. Shout out to Flatsmack. Yeah, shout out to, he's been doing that for a long time. I remember being in, I want to say early high school. He's been doing that forever. My dad, as you guys know, my dad day trades stocks. So my dad would always have him on the TV. Knowing how my dad performs, though, I don't think my dad ever listened to him. I think my dad might have been using him as a reverse indicator before anybody was. Shout out to James Kramer. Shout out to J. Cole. Said, start your own hedge fund and call it Frankie Templeton. Honestly, if there's someone running a hedge fund, Franklin Templeton's the guy you want running it, I would think. All right. Should be illegal to watch Kramer. All right, so let's go ahead. We took a look at Solana, took a look at Ethereum. Let's take a quick look at XRP. And I mean, hey, like, man, we look at XRP every day. I mean, here we are, right? Like, we're below the volume profile, attempting to get back above here, right? We have the 16-hour bull div printing, right? This could potentially give us a continuation up. Next big level of resistance I would be watching would be what I would think is the golden pocket sitting on the POC. Let's see if that is accurate. All right, somewhat confluent there, not too shabby. Right, so we're just going to look for a small retracement on this. Based off the volume profile / Fibonacci retracement, I would look for a move into that POC if you could hold above the value area low, right, which does look like you're attempting to do here. We've broken above. Money flow in the 45-minute trying to cross over into the green. I mean, it's a little sus, guys. It's a little sus. That 1 hour is looking a little better, but, I would see if we could kind of hold this as support. Maybe we cool off. We kind of bing-bong around, but if we could hold on top of that value area low, I would look for a move into the POC golden pocket sitting right about here. Other than that, 786 is not very confluent with the value area high. You do have the golden pocket pulled from the high to the low here. So, like, these are the key levels I would be looking at on XRP. I'll even pull the local fib just so you guys can have it here. Boom, right? So, if we hold above here, right, money flow crosses over into the green, I would anticipate that trend to continue to the upside into the golden pocket POC. 786 sitting here, honorable mention at about $2.48. Flip that to support. I'd look into the value area high macro golden pocket. Or I say macro. It's macro compared to this one. It's not really macro, though. But, this is you're trying to get back in here. Let me get rid of these brushes, right? You're trying to get back in here in your volume profile with money flow coming up. That's not a bad sign for a continuation into the POC. We'll see if we can get it. It's going to be reliant on this money flow coming into the green and staying in the green, right? We don't want any of these willy-nilly fake outs, right? That's going to be bad sign, in my personal opinion. So, see the 4-hour green dot confirmed. What's the daily doing? Yeah, looking for a daily bull div as well here on XRP. Lower lows on your price action as you deviate below the profile. Higher lows on your momentum waves. But overall, guys, money flow indicating the longer-term trend. Daily money flow still coming out. 2-day money flow still coming out. XRP holding up better than a lot of most other altcoins, honestly. But yeah, I mean, if you get the bigger breakdown, we took a look at this yesterday, sitting between 152 and 132. Golden pocket, value area high confluence. This is going to be the next big level, right? We lose this range here. I'd expect somewhat of a quick move down. We talked about this yesterday. Quick move up oftentimes leads to a quick move down through those low volume gaps. That's what I would look for. So you really don't want to lose this low here. I mean, honestly, yeah, you don't even really want to play with any of this, right? Because eventually, once that money flow comes out, maybe you do something like this. That's where you get the bigger move down on XRP. Could be. And the reason only reason I'm willing to look for lower highs and lower lows is based off this money flow. So there we go. Those are the key levels. Massive, next big level of support if we break down 152 to 132. Let's see. Thank you, young man. Shout out to Irving Rocks. Shout out to you, bro. No problemo. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you guys out and give the Mafia the sauciest TA and the sauciest key levels and the sauciest predictions on Bitcoin and sometimes alts. Let's see. You're crushing it, Frankie. Shout out to Jay Edits. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you for the kind words. It does more than you think, believe it or not. Let's scroll up. Thank you for that. Thank you, Crypto Billy. Let's get it. Thank you for that. We took a look at XRP. You are now pinned to the top of the chat. All right, let's get it. All right, let's take a look at H-bar. Bada boom. All right. Fortunately or unfortunately, if you were looking for shorts on H-bar, our key levels of resistance did stand true. Golden pocket 786 retracement. Golden pocket confluent with your value area low. 786 confluent with your POC, right? Where are you going to be looking for a lower high? This was the fib we were looking at. Bounce to the upside. Rejection within the fib zone. And we didn't break the low, technically, yet. So, yeah. I mean, you got the rejection off the fib. We can get rid of this now, right? Bada boom. That's now been touched. Come on. So, yeah, I would say, let me grab this horizontal ray real quick. Change this. So, yeah, for H bar, see 8 hour, 10 hour. Yeah, this all looks the same, to be honest, as far as market cipher, right? Like 12 and 16 hour green dots printing or looking to print, right? 1 hour money flow trying to cross over into the green, right? It's not as far along as a lot of other alts or as Bitcoin either, or as far along as Bitcoin as well. But let's check that 45 minute getting rejected. So, yeah, I mean, that's your argument, right? For like continued local upside. You would want to see, again, maybe you get a little turbulence, but you would want to see that money flow cross over into the green with those higher time frame green dots for that market cipher B116 strategy. Plain and simple. Let's see here. Other than that, I mean, your next key levels to the downside. Let's see here. Let's pull this to the low. Boom. So, yeah, I mean, you've already come down, tested the 786 once, tested it twice, tested it 3 times. You know what they say? More times you tap on the door, the more likely it is to open. Unfortunate situation here is the door is the floor. You don't want the floor to open up. Next local levels I'd look at, I'd try my best to pull some kind of a value area right here. Right, because once we impulse, right, or, and we kind of are just losing this range. Once we lose this completely, I'd probably look for price to come play around in here between 15 cents and 12 cents. That's your next local value area. It's not the strongest. Pull up a higher time frame here real quick. Pull up the daily. Yeah, you could even pull this as a range as well. This is actually a little cleaner, in my opinion. So, yeah, I'm going to mark this out as well on H-bar. POC value area high. So, yeah, I'm going to get rid of this fib, right? So I'm going to get rid of the golden pocket. I'm going to leave this 786. So, yeah, I mean, you can look at this local range. You get back in here. You can go to the POC into the high. This is actually not too bad. I actually don't hate this. So, yeah, this local profile that you're playing with right now would be. Just see. And you could see it is pretty respected. Go back to the POC, back to the low, back to the almost to the high, back to the POC, back to the low, back in, back to the low, POC, value area high, deviation, back in, bearish retest, POC, value area low. Okay. I don't hate this range, right? So this is sitting between 19 cents, POC sitting at 20 cents, value area high sitting at 23 cents. And then, I mean, if you lose the 786, this is going to be key, right? If you lose this 786, not looking good, right? I'll even label this key. You lose that 786, I'm looking down towards about 15 cents, right? I'm looking to come down here to that value area high and potentially respect that range. Your hope right now is to get accepted in here and play around in this range to stop the bleed. Because if you come back down, you lose that 786, you're probably going to bleed out pretty bad, down to 15 cents. Get up here, I'd look to move to the POC, and potentially the value area high. Now, money flow, obviously looking similar to everything else. 45 minute coming into the green, or looking to cross over into the green. 1 hour trying to come into the green. 16 and 12 hour green dots looking to print as well. They're not quite there yet. But yeah, you don't have the bull divs here on H-bar, unfortunately. But yeah, that's what I would look for here on H-bar. Same thing. Again, 1 hour money flow with the 16 and 12 hour red dots. That's your best bet. Again, I would put a little bit of a grain of salt on these setups, right? Because with all this sell pressure, all this strong bearish momentum that we have, I wouldn't be betting the farm on these. Like I said when I showed the long position earlier, where is it? Over here, right? When I showed this long position, like there's a reason, right? Like we looked for this. Where's it at? Right? We looked for this long. Do get a move. Actually, I think the brush is still here, right? Like, we literally look for this move to come into this value area low, right? There's a reason why I did not have this take profit, although originally this was a big swing long area. Because we front ran all that key support on Bitcoin, I changed my mind, right? I didn't change my mind really, but before we took the trade, right? Saying like, I'm going to view this as a little bit more of a scalp, like looking for this to come into the value area high. It would be nice to see it continue up, but at this point, right? Like I'm looking at this as major resistance, right? I'm going to be taking profits and I'm going to be moving my stop loss, which I 100% have done. Where's Femex at? Oh, there it is. So there's that trade if you weren't here before. Already got 1,000 locked in, up 2,800 on realized. So we'll see what happens. We're pretty safe here at this point. I don't think I'm going to get stopped out at break even like right now. But yeah, if this continues to run, great. If it doesn't, we'll get stopped out at break even. I'm happy with this, right? I'm happy. I got to lock in my money. If I don't think it's like a high probability of going higher than this, I might even lock in a little bit more. Maybe take like another 1,000 or another 800 off the table. So yeah, again, like the best bet here would be that 1 hour money flow crossover into the green. We'll see if that can give us the bigger move. But yeah, there's a reason why that take profit is there. If we had massive money flow in the higher time frames was coming up, right? Actually, 16 hours not looking that horrible. It's kind of just flat if you kind of average in all the highs or all these lows. But yeah, like if we had like significant money flow, like just absolutely yeeting to the upside. 8 hours kind of gross. 3 hours like trying to come up, but that's been very, very choppy recently. Yeah, like 1 hour is really the cleanest kind of view on that. You got 2 hour red dot looking to come in here fighting against your money flow. So, if I felt really confident there, I'd probably be at least targeting this value area high, if not higher for that trade. But got to lock in those profits when you get them. And I'm not going to lie. Literally, that TP tapped by a couple bucks. So it's not even like it smashed that TP. We just barely hit it. So you got to take the money when it's on the table, guys. You got to take the money when it's on the table. Let's see. Higher time frame can't be taught. Shout out to Gen Z. Yeah, it's all about the higher time frames. That is for dang sure. Thank you, Reagan, for the great stream, bro. I need to head out, and I'm in the UK. Much love, brother. Shout out to Felix. Thank you for being here, bro. Have a great night. Thank you for hanging out with us. Let's see. What is our next altcoin on the list? We got Chainlink. Shout out to B Tyler. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, bro. Just be Tyler, bro. Just be you. Shout out to Tyler. But let's see. Beam, please. Yeah, we'll try to take a look at Beam. I'm going to take a look at Link first, and then we'll jump into Beam. Let's see. Let's take a look. I think I have Link over here somewhere. There she is. All right, let's take a look here. Oh, this is not the chart we want to look at. Where's our Link chart? Where is my dang Link chart? All right, we don't have a Link chart. Not on this template apparently. Coinbase? That's probably what we're looking at right now. Is this not? Oh, this is the wrong dang chart. We got to go over here. Take a look at Link. Come on. Where is? There it is. All right. So here we are. All right. Man, we should have looked at Link more often, honestly, because what is this? Oh no, I'm sorry. Okay, no, that's irrelevant. Let's see. Take a look at the daily. Daily VWAP looking to come up. You are putting in a bull div here on the daily into your key level of support, which is your daily / value area low of the range. All right, so you do have the lower lows on price action, higher lows on your momentum waves. You have your green dot, it's pretty far away from printing, so, you still have plenty of time for this to come back down. But if you get that green dot, you will have that daily bullish divergence into your key level of resistance, right, or support, which is very important, right? Once you reclaim here, especially with the daily bull div, could give you a push up to the POC sitting at 1430. Flip that to support. Could look for the move up to the value area high at about 1739. That would be for the full fill of the range. Are we guaranteed to get that? I would say probably not. I don't know how. I just got a scratch on my wrist, but it is super itchy. I just got attacked by something, guys. I don't know if you can see that. Can anybody see that? I have like a puffed up itchy scratch on my hand, on my wrist. This is weird. I think I just got like attacked midstream. I don't know what that is. But anyway, let's see. So yeah, 12-hour green dot looking to print. I mean, this all looks the same, right? 12-hour green dot and 16-hour green dot with your 45 and 1 minute, 1 hour money flow crossing into the green is what you're looking for, right? Not only is Market Cipher B looking similar on a lot of the altcoins, but honestly, a lot of them are also getting above their value area lows, right? So you would hope to hold this as support, have that money flow crossover into the green in a significant way, right? And then that would give you the push to the POC and then give you the move up to the value area high, right? Now, you do have to be careful here based off the bearish momentum that we've had recently, and you're going to want to be very, very careful around some very key levels, right? So if we pull the fibs here, pull it from the high, no real confluence. Let's pull it, like really ugly confluence. Yeah, we don't really... Ugh, I mean, you could potentially look at this. I don't even really like this level, to be honest. Yeah, it's like such a grind. Such a grind down. But yeah, I would be careful around this golden pocket 786 POC. Sitting right there between about 1482 and 1410. And then, yeah, once you got above that 786, I think you got a better shot at coming up to the value area high. Let me just mark out some anchored VWAPs here as well. Yeah, anchored VWAP from this previous high will be in confluence with this zone there. And that's probably what I would look at, to be quite honest with you. And then if you make it all the way to this value area high, not all-time high, but this... high here at about $27. That anchor VWAP might come in confluence as well. But we can get rid of some of this other upper stuff here, right? We can get rid of this. We can get rid of this just to clear up the chart. We can get rid of that, get rid of this, get rid of this. So, yeah, this is what I would look for. I'd be very, very careful sitting here on Chainlink 1482 all the way to about 1410. This would be the key level of resistance, right? Get up here. Be careful of the lower high. If you can get above that 786 and that anchored VWAP, that would be your doorway to send it up to the value area high. But again, you know, I would be careful here. 16-hour, 12-hour green dot with the 1 hour and 45-minute money flow crossover is your ticket to higher prices, but I would be careful with it, right? You can even see your 45-minute kind of bing-bonging out again here. So, yeah, like I wouldn't say it's like the strongest case here. But we'll see. Bitcoin, what is Bitcoin doing? Just getting a little bit of a pullback here. There's those 15-minute bear divs, right? Giving you that turbulence. See that 1 hour money flow. 1 hour red dot confirms that, yeah, you got time here. You got time to come down. But yeah, that's what I'd be looking at on, what was that, Chainlink? That was Chainlink. Let's take a look at Beam. Shout out to our boy B. Tyler. Let's take a look at Beam. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Smash that like button, guys, if you do not mind. It helps us out endlessly with this YouTube channel. If we get 1,000 likes, we'll be giving away a free month in the premium Discord to one lucky CandleMafia member. Let's see. With the BTC chart and CPI coming out tomorrow, would you guess it's positive news? Shout out to Jay Edits. That is a great question. Really hard. I would only base that move off of the I would really only base that move off of the charts, to be quite honest. If I had to say it was going to if I was going to try to front run the news off the charts, I would probably say, let's see, 16-hour green dot. If this looked like a better setup, right? Like if there was more things pointing up, right, than just the bull divs and the money flow crossover, maybe. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like with the strong sell pressure right now, I have a hard time just like feeling really confident in a big move up. Like obviously the signs are there. Like we'll know, right? Like the bull div plays out, right? 16-hour bull div with the money flow crossover. Like if it winds up playing out, like we'll know why it happened. But I would definitely be careful with that setup. Especially if you're not long from the lows, obviously. So yeah. Yeah, potentially, you know, I wouldn't even really take the news into effect. Because honestly, like, especially with like things like FOMC and stuff like that, like unless I'm in a trade or trading actively, like just the crazy volatility, I don't really like to like take sound big positions, right? Like if we had FOMC tomorrow, I wouldn't be like looking to take a huge short here or a huge long. And if I did, I would have my stop loss so tight and like, or it very quickly move to break even. And like even then, like I recommend sitting out of news, right? Because although charts can point to a move before the news comes out, which we took a look at live when we saw that dump on Bitcoin a couple days ago. We saw, I forget exactly where it happened, but we like literally saw live. Maybe it was here. Like we saw live, right? Like we were looking for a pullback into a retracement level. We had a market cipher B116 strategy, and we were looking for a dump, and then all of a sudden we got some weird news and it dumped. That could definitely be the case a lot of the time, but typically for like CPI and stuff, I just let that stuff kind of shake out. So like if we had FOMC tomorrow, I wouldn't be like looking at the chart saying like, hey, we got bull divs. I think the news is going to be bullish, because a lot of times on that stuff, you'll get a fake out move, right? So like if tomorrow was like, for instance, FOMC, right? Like you might see that 16-hour bull div, and like what that might be doing is giving you a move up for bearish reaction off the FOMC. So yeah, I probably wouldn't do it in that case. I wouldn't kind of like I wouldn't try to front run it like that. But that's a great question. That is a great question. Just because of the volatility you see on that. So if you see a lot of fake out moves, you got to try your best not to get burned, which is sometimes pretty difficult to do. Let's see. Shout out to Irvin. Said, thank you again, young man. Have a profitable evening. Shout out to Irvin. Have a great night, bro. Thank you for tuning into the Frank Candles YouTube channel. And I'm sure you already smashed that like button. But yeah, shout out to everybody in here. I appreciate everybody tuning in and hanging out with us here. Hopefully you're getting your values worth of sauce here on the Frank Candles live stream. Let's see. 30 minutes till the next Fear and Greed reading. Oh, baby. All right, let's see. Shout out to Jay Violet. What is going on? Welcome in, Jay Violet. Let's see. We are running out of time here. Money flow crossing over into the red on the 5-minute, and there we go, right? But yeah, there you go. 15-minute red dot. If you guys missed the TA on Bitcoin, if you're just tuning in and you missed the TA on Bitcoin, go ahead and scrub to the beginning of the stream. We covered everything: high time frame, low time frame, medium time frame, high time frame. Is the bear market in? We answer all those questions for you. So go ahead and scrub back to the beginning of the stream. However, if we look here, oh my God, guys, give me 1 second. Let me turn this fan on. I am sweating. Can you guys? Am I getting shiny? I am hot in here. Oh my God. Oh, good Lord. Good Lord. It is hot in here. I think it's because the sun is still out and it's just like cooking into the studio. Shout out to Asali. Says, is the premium Discord worth it? I mean, that depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a signals group and for someone to tell you exactly when to buy and sell so you can get rich overnight, 100% it is not. If you want to be a profitable trader and learn how to do actual analysis and understand how the market actually moves and put the work in to become an actual profitable trader to potentially start doing this at some point for a living, and you're willing to put in time and you're a dedicated person and you're not afraid of hard work, then probably the right place for you. I give my trade setups, as well as 2 live streams a week. We give my personal trade setups. I showed some of them before. Pretty much how we do it is like we wait. Like this is a setup that we had a while ago. This is just here because I brought this situation up before and I was showing that we were looking for it, right? I'll say, hey, we are looking for bearish retracements into this golden pocket 786 zone for XYZ reason, right? These are the confirmations I'll be looking at these levels. If I'm at my desk to take the trades, this is what I'll be looking at. If I see these confirmations, I will take the trade. And, we don't win every single trade, but we definitely win way more than we don't. And if you really want to put in the work, but if you're just looking for a signals group and you think you're going to get rich quick, I would say definitely not worth it. And neither would a signals group be worth it either. But yeah, this is how we do it. I teach you how to trade, and I show you and kind of hold your hand through my own personal trade setups. But I do not just say, buy here, sell here. If it was that easy, nobody would have a job. Everyone would be a billionaire. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. But with our Discord, I give you the personal trade setup so you get what I'm looking for. I hold your hand through the trades. I tell you exactly what I'm looking for, even if I'm not at the desk, right? And I don't take the trade. The Mafia sees, in this particular situation, I was not at the desk, right? And I did not take the trade, but the Mafia had the setup here, and they know exactly what to look for to actually take the trade. So you can check that out if you're interested, but definitely not a signals group. So yeah. Let's see. I'm a paper billionaire. Shout out to Passive Freedom. Let's get it. Bitcoin dumpage discount. Yeah, maybe we'll do like a incoming bear market discount. How many members are in the Discord? I don't know what the current count is, to be honest. Maybe somewhere, I don't even know. I'd probably be guessing. I would think somewhere between like maybe 700 and 1,000. I don't even know. I don't count every single person that comes in. Tony D probably has a better number. You don't have to share it, Tony. I'm just, I don't know. Let's see. Singles group. Shout out to Jesse. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Sui. Yeah, we could try to take a look at Sui. I'll take a look at Sui. Shout out to Pennywise. Said premium is totally worth it. Yeah, ask the Mafia if you're in the premium. Go ahead and give your experience. Yes, it's 100% worth it. I'm probably the quietest member, but I just quit my job 3 months ago. Shout out to Zach. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Shout out to Pennywise. So yeah, that's pretty much how I do it, guys. Like, I don't really like to push. I talk about my Discord, but like I don't really hard push my Discord and just try to get as many people to sign up. I say this all the time. I honestly kind of want to create a barrier to entry. Because a lot of people hear, Signals group, right? Or I'll just get into this guy's Discord and I'll get rich overnight, right? That's not how it works with anybody's Discord, right? Like, if it were that easy, like I said, no one would ever have a job, right? Everyone would just be in like someone's Signals group and set a bot up to take their signals, and they would just be like printing billions and billions and billions of dollars for no reason, right? With zero work. But I almost want to make a barrier to entry, right? Because like if someone's just looking to get rich quick, that like trading is not the game for you, right? Like trading is not a get rich quick scheme. So it's like I would rather have people who are actually understand what it takes to be a trader and willing to put that work in, right? Because that's who's going to benefit from my product. And it doesn't even matter. I could have every single one of our setups to play out, right? I could have Price do this exact thing, which a lot of the times is what happens, right? Again, we don't win every single trade, but if I were right 100% of the time on every single trade, and people are just in there taking signals, like they're like very likely going to lose money whether I'm right or wrong. So that's just not what we run over there. I like to turn you guys into actual profitable traders. And shout out to the Mafia. I'll let the Mafia advertise Discord for me because we don't give some discounts for the premium today, Frankie. Shout out to Diago. Shout out to Diago. Maybe we will. Maybe if we hit 1,000 likes, maybe I'll do maybe I'll give away a couple of premium Discord memberships. We don't do it a lot, and I'm not going to give them away for free very often. But yeah, maybe we'll do it a lot just to cheer up some people, because if you think the bear market is in right now, guys, if you think this is the bear market, Beam. Yeah, shout out to B. Tyler, bro. I totally lost track there. Yeah, we'll take a look at Beam. Thank you, B. Or thank you, Tyler. But yeah, that is the premium is an amazing singles group. I met Rag Capital in there. Shout out to Dave Digital. Hey, we double. Not only is it not a signals group, but it is a singles group. Let's see. Shout out to Levianti. I can't say your name. I don't know I don't know how to pronounce that name, bro. I apologize. But Bitcoin dominance about to break to the upside. We'll see. Maybe we'll check on that in just a minute. But let's take a look at Beam here real quick. Yeah, Beam is dead. Beam is going to zero. I'm just kidding. I mean, maybe. I don't know. But from a chart perspective, let's be honest. You lost this range. Came back in, played around, lost it again. Played in here, lost this. Yikes. Let's take a look at this. I mean, to be honest, finding more support is going to be very, 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 very difficult, right? We don't even really have do we have a daily down here that we can even look at? I mean, yeah, we could try to pull up some daily levels. You got a daily level here. You got a daily level here. Yeah, you're basically at your key level of support. I mean, this is kind of hard, right? Because I can't look left. Right? So, like, that's one of the limits of looking at TA. It's like, I mean, I don't know how you would find support any other way other than looking at the chart. But I mean, this is your level right here. I mean, if I really wanted to, like, if I really wanted to try to, like, get to the nitty-gritty here, we could try to pull a profile on this. But, yeah, I don't even think I would look at that, to be honest. I would pay attention to these daily levels. Now you have your macro volume profile above you. This is kind of brutal. Neutral, got your low. Value area low, POC, value area high. So yeah, I mean, your macro range, like very simple. Macro range 0.0142. Starting at the value area low, 0.0142. POC 0.018, value area high 0.033. Other than that, right, you're now very far away from this, right? You've already dumped 65% below that. So that's, it's there. It's like one of the bigger tangible kind of ranges that I could pull. Now, other than that, I'm just going to give you local levels. Underneath you 100% have these two dailies. You just front ran this one slightly, sitting at 0.0048. Next daily underneath you, 0.0044. That's your support. That's all I can really give you because that's the only price action that I have. Shout out to Dave, said 90% men. I assume you mean the CandleMafia. Yeah, I think, Tony D, can you get the actual statistics on that? What percentage of female viewers do we have? We respect our female Mafia members. They are the GOATs. Okay, so let's see. So yeah, I mean, like even this, right? Like if I were to pull this, like this isn't even the cleanest range. This is more of a pennant, right? Like this is more of a, I could try to pull it as a range, right? We pull it something like this. Yeah, like rejected the POC. So yeah, this is kind of the only other range I can give you. Everything else has just been an aggressive trend to the downside. So yeah, I mean, brutal. I mean, you have like, other than these little ranges, right? Like even this one right here, I'm not even gonna, I guess I will. This one sits between about 0.0086 and 0.0078, but like these are hyper local levels. So yeah, I mean, this thing is just aggressively trending to the downside. These are the ranges. If you want to screenshot these levels, you can. But I take a look at the weekly. I'll try to mark out some weekly levels. Like even on the weekly end of things, like actually, let me not delete those. Let me hide them. Right? And then we'll pull up the weekly. We'll try to get some weekly levels in here. And then, yeah, that's a weekly. Then you have your dailies, which are going to be one here. It's going to be one here. There's going to be one hither. And then another one here. So, yeah, let's pull up our ranges now. Yeah, and you can see, right, like all those levels are now within those profiles, right? So, yeah, it's can only really give you these hyper-local levels, to be quite honest with you. Other than that, I mean, looking at this from a market cipher perspective, same thing, right? 1 hour money flow crossover into the green, 12-hour green dot, 16-hour green dot, printing, right? So that 1 hour and 45-minute money flow is hopefully going to give you a continuation to the upside. If it does, your next key level is going to be the daily at about, come on. Yeah, I mean, this is somewhat of a speculative fib, honestly, but I would look, I mean, a big level to look at right here. Golden pocket, daily, value area high confluence. Like, again, these ranges are very, 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 very local. So I would look to, whoops, let me. So, yeah, I mean, best bet, I'd say, like, I would not be looking to trade this. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I assume, shout out to, I think it was B. Tyler. I assume you're looking to see if you're going to get some kind of relief here. I assume you hold beam. I would look, if this 1 hour money flow crossover, 45-minute money flow crossover continues, maybe you come up into this range. So I would definitely be watching this, sitting right there, 0.006. So, yeah, that's what I'd look for. If you get above that value area low, flip that, come into the golden pocket. That's your first major level of resistance. Then you have the 786 value area low confluence above that, sitting right here between 0.0076 and 0.0078. Those are the levels I'd be looking at. Other than this thing has just been nuking, so it's very, very hard. Like, you need this thing to kind of, like, build out some higher time frame structure to give, like, a strong opinion on it. But that's what I would look for. You're hoping on the same thing as everything else, all the other altcoins. Money flow crossing over into the green on the 1 hour with that 45-minute as well. With the, what do you call it? 16-hour and 12-hour green dots. Let's see. Shout out to Great C says Sausage Fest. Let's go. I guess Tony D dropped these statistics, I assume. Shout out to Jennifer says peak. I'll take a peek at peak for 2 seconds. I don't want to look at peak because it hurts my feelings. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, guys. I lost everything on peak, guys. I invested my life savings in peak, and I lost it all. I'm just kidding. But no, I am down like 50-something% on peak. I know that. 60-something percent. Yeah, almost 60. Yeah, about 60% on peak. Oh my God, it's going to 0. Actually, funny enough, luckily, I was not going all in, right? I DCA'd in here on this drop to the downside, and I kind of thought it was going to go lower, right? So, like, I didn't get my full DCA in here. So I was kind of hoping it just kind of took off, right? I started DCAing in, I think, right here. Dollar cost average, and then boom, it exploded, right? And obviously, all that's been eaten up plus some. But luckily, I'm not like super heavy on peak. Like I did bet on it a bit here, but I planned on DCAing a little bit more. But this pre-sale dump was pretty quick. But now I'm just gonna start DCAing in back here, but not right now, right? Like I said, I am sitting on the sidelines with alts. I am not buying alts right now. Look at total 3. Let's take a look here. Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what we've expected, right? Not bragging, not showing, not trying to say, oh my God, we were right? But just from a technical perspective, the downtrend has continued, as we would expect. We break down, bearish retest, we come down, we lose all of our key fib levels, right? If you want it to hold here, you'll want it to hold that 786, right? Unfortunately, we lose it, we make the lower low, right? And this is also pointed out by daily money flow coming out, right? Kind of similar to Bitcoin, 2-day money flow coming out as well, obviously. But, we need to get back up here. I'll say it again. I say it almost every stream. We look at total 3, 93.2 billion, right? Like, I am not interested in, even on Bitcoin dominance, right? Like I said this yesterday too. I'm not interested. I am sitting on the sidelines for altcoins right now. Why? Because this, right? Like, once this continues to happen, right? We looked at this yesterday. Guys, we're flipping the value area low to support. If this thing starts to snap to the upside, we get accepted into this range. That next stop is going to be the POC. What does that mean for altcoins? I've never used that button on the stream deck. I kind of just clicked a button and it worked. I can't believe I hit that button. But anyway, I was just kind of like random sound effect and that worked out. So yeah, if that comes up here, we're above the value area low until we lose the value area low or lose the golden pocket to nuke down, right? Like that's where I'm interested in altcoins. Other than that, I'm waiting to come up to key resistance on Bitcoin dominance to look at altcoins, right? When we come up here, I'm going to be looking at the alt charts. Are they putting in lows? Does it look like money flow is coming back up on the higher time frames? Because if not, and we're going to likely go higher into the macro 786 at 66.21%, why would I want to be buying alts here when it's probably going to continue to nuke them up into the 66.21 level, right? We flip that. We could potentially look up towards about 68.91%. I'm not saying we guaranteed to come up here. We're guaranteed to come up here or even guaranteed to come up here. But for me personally, I would wait for Bitcoin dominance to come up to key levels that it has a high probability of rejecting, which would be here, here, or here, right? These are the levels. If we approach here and things look bullish for altcoins, I might nibble. If we come up here and things look bullish for altcoins, I might buy a little. If we come up here and things look bullish for altcoins, maybe I will buy some. But it's not until we're at these levels where I think there could be a probability of a rejection. Because in order to see the altcoins run, we need this thing to puke, right? It's not going to puke if it's not rejecting a key level. We did that here. We came up to the golden pocket. This is where we were interested in a bunch of alts. We put a bunch of setups in the Discord. They all slapped. Not all of them. I think it was like 1 or 2 of them that didn't play out. But most of them slapped into their final targets and beyond, right? Other than that, right, why were we looking at that? Because we were coming into a key level that we were very likely going to reject and could have potentially been the big rejection for the big alt season. But it wasn't, right? We came back up. So I am not interested until we come up to interact with the POC at this point, right? Next place I'm interested in, really looking at, is it time for alt season, is when we come up and attack these key levels of resistance. Other than that, I mean, unless we get some kind of crazy retest, breakdown and retest of the value area low golden pocket and start breaking down, it's going to be more likely that these are the interesting levels for altcoins. So there you go. Shout out to Lee's, says he wants to see Velo. Shout out to Lee's. Real quick, guys. Super chats do not guarantee we look at your altcoins. Lee's, I will take a look at Velo. I just don't want to have a flood of other altcoins because we are wrapping up here, so I don't want anyone to waste money on a super chat and then wind up not having it looked at. But yeah, let's see. Velo. Game over. Shout out to Kalichi. Let's go, baby. Let's go. You need the Metal Gear Solid death sound, Fraggy. Shout out to Tony Roaz. Yeah, I gotta load up this thing with some fire sound effects. Shout out to Flame said, bro, Pi gave me 1,500 USDT. Shout out to Flame. Like, they gave it to you? Or did you make it on a trade? Let me know, Flame. Let me know. Shout out to Crypto Pollo in the chat. Shout out to the fellow farm animals out there. Let's see. Okay, so let's take a look at Velo here. This is an ugly chart. Just, and I don't mean ugly as in bearish. I'm not that I'm necessarily bullish, but this is just, there's just nothing. This is just gross for TA, if I have to be completely honest here. I mean, we could try to pull this as a range, of course. Let's take a look at it. I'm going to go ahead and mark this out. You have your value area low sitting at 0.0079. You have your POC at 0.0094. You have your value area high at 0.020. So, me personally, I prefer to wait for a move into the value area low for longs, right? And again, not that I would be looking to really trade this right now, but, you know, I would definitely be looking at this. I'd prefer to wait to the POC value area low, potential deviation, to then look for longs back into the range, back above the POC for a high probability rotation of the range. Now, is that rotation of the range likely? In my opinion, based off money flow, 2-day money flow coming out, daily money flow in the red, 3-day money flow coming out, crossing over into the red, I can't be bullish on this for a massive move to the upside, right? Money flow crossing over into the red would indicate that the trend is likely to continue to the downside. So any retracement here would have to be looked at as lackluster retracement to the upside for a lower high and a lower low. Right now, I would be looking. Yeah, I would pretty much just look to respect this range, to be quite honest with you, right? You maybe get a little retracement into some local fibs, right? I would be waiting for the value area low POC. If it doesn't get hit and you just wind up yeeting off into all-time highs, which I think is extremely low probability right now unless alt season just starts out of nowhere and Bitcoin dominance starts dumping, which I don't think is likely to happen right now, I would just look to respect these ranges. If it continues down, POC at 0.0094 and the value area low at 0.0079, key levels of support. Money flow coming out on the daily, though, so any bounce has to, in my opinion, be lackluster for a lower high, continuation down. And I would just much rather come down into this zone to look for longs. So yeah, pretty simple here on Velo, to be quite honest with you. That's what I got, right? Like, that's your current range. Like, whether you get a big move up or a big move down, you're pretty much covered as far as support and resistance. And, you know, again, market cipher B looking very similar to everything else. So those are the key levels I would look at. See if you're maybe holding a fib here. No. Your full golden pocket from the top, or golden pocket 786 from the top to the current low is all the way up here. So, yeah, this is definitely what I would look to play into. You know, just look for these levels to get respected. Shout out to who asked for that? Shout out to Lee's. Hopefully that helps you out, bro. Hopefully that helps you out. Let's see. Oh, I mined 815 Pi coins. I sold 800 Pi at $2 a round, saved 15 Pi coins. That's how I made 1,500. Shout out to Flame. Let's go, bro. Congratulations. Let's see. Shout out to Crypto Boyle, said KuCoin charts are terrible. Is there a better Velo chart? Coinbase. Am I looking at the wrong thing? Hang on a second. Velo? Am I looking at the wrong Velo? Did they want to see Velo? Am I tripping right now? Yeah, hopefully that was the right velo. But I'm curious to see the difference between the Kuka. Yeah, this thing's nasty. Let's see. Shout out to Brobby Wan says, what's the difference between premium membership and VIP Discord? Shout out to Brobby. The memberships that you're seeing are just YouTube memberships. They give you access to usually Golden comes and gives a ton of them away, or we give them away. But yeah, you could buy a membership. It gets you special emojis. It gets you certain perks. If we ever do exclusive content membership, shout out to Lee's wanted Velodrome. Yeah, I was going to say, this looks like super weird. I'll take a look at Velodrome real quick. Little easier to look at, to be honest. Aerodrome, not Velodrome. Shout out to Kodon. Welcome in, bro. Welcome in. Yeah, shout out to Crypto Boy. So yeah, Velo and Velodrome are two different things. They asked for Velo. The ticker for Velodrome was Velodrome. There we go. Shout out to Tony D. Thank you for answering the membership question. What's up with all the drones? Shout out to Kalichi. Tell me about it, bro. Tell me about it. All right, let's see. Broby Wan Kenobi said I gotta change my name. Well, shout out to you. But yeah, let's see here. So yeah, for Velodrome, I mean, again, this is gonna be very, very similar to everything else, right? Like, you don't have a bullish divergence on the daily, unfortunately. You are looking to print a green dot here somewhat soon. Your 16-hour, you don't have a bull. You don't really have a bull div. I wouldn't write home about this one. It's pretty lackluster. Yeah, I mean, you could call that a bull div. It's very, very, very local, though. Let's see. Daily green dots looking to print. I mean, I'll tell you this. There's not a lot underneath you. Like, basically everything's above. So what I'll do is I'll extend this all the way to the breakout here. I'm going to go ahead and move this volume profile up slightly. Right, there you go. Breakdown, retest, loss of the range. So, yeah, your hope here is to hopefully get some kind of retracement. And if you could get one of those, if you can get a retracement, you would hope that it's going to bring you down into the value area low. Let's pull it from this high. So, yeah, I would say this, like, you know, if you get that green down on the daily and it gives you a big move to the upside, I would look for something like this, right? Now I'll actually change this to resistance, right? You know, your next big level of resistance, if you get a significant retracement, is going to be the Golden Pocket 786 value area low, sitting between about 0.06 and 0.068 and 0.075. So I would look for something like this. I would be careful of lower highs here. Honorable mention, you know, again, you're going to have a bunch of local fibs in here. If you're going to continue like your aggressive downtrend, you can totally reject, like, for an impulse down, like the local, hyper-local fibs. So you want to, like, make sure you're aware of those. You have another one here between about 0.058 and 0.062. So, you know, your bigger significant retracement is going to be in confluence. Like, again, like, there's not really confluence here. I guess you do have you have a tap daily there. I would say, like, this is a local level. I would probably focus on this one. Right? Again, I would not be trading this, like, necessarily. I would not, you know. But if you get the retracement, you got the daily Golden Pocket value area low 786 sitting right here. If you come up there, I would be careful of a rejection and a lower low based off of your money flow, which has been in the red for quite some time. You have a 2-day bull div potentially looking to print. Green dot not there quite yet. But yeah, that's kind of what I would look at here. I'd be careful of the rejection here, but it's nice because you have the volume profile giving you the anticipation of a potential flip of support here before a bigger move up. So yeah, retracement into this zone, flip that 786, look to go to the POC, look to go to the value area high. But until you get above that 786, I would be skeptical for sure. So that's what I'd be looking at for Velodrome. Let's see. Shout out to Leedy, said Bitcoin is going to dump. It could even break yesterday's high. Shout out to Leedy. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. I would look at a potential, or not even yet. What is yesterday? Yesterday was the 10th. Yeah, I would actually enjoy that. I would enjoy coming up here, taking this high out, right? Yeah, like I said, we're going to be looking for shorts up here for sure. But honestly, we might not get the sweep of liquidity. I would love, right? We do have liquidity. Oh, yeah, I never pulled this up, actually. Let me see if I can pull this up. I'm not going to spend a ton of time finding it because we are running. Yeah, I don't have it all open here, but what is this? This is 84K. So let me just pull this up real quick. So you guys can see here, we do have liquidity starting here. Bunch of high leverage liquidation sitting at 83,655, running, all the way up to about, 84.5. Right? What is this? 83,655. So, yeah, like right above this high. I have it marked out on the chart at the beginning of the stream, right? We have a lot of liquidity sitting up here. So I would love to come up here, push into this liquidity, and then reassess the situation. Is it going to give us a bigger push up, or are we going to come up here just to put in more bearish confirmations and get a bigger move down? This is kind of what I'm going to be looking for a potential short setup. If we can come up in here and get those confirmations, we'll be looking for the shorts in the premium Discord. But, we'll see. Money flow coming out here. Unless, argument for the upside on Bitcoin, guys. Again, 1 hour money flow crossover into the green with the 16-hour red dot. However, remember, we have front ran. If you missed the TA from the beginning of the stream, go back and take a look at it because we cover everything. But again, this is looked at as a day trade / scalp until proven otherwise because we took the liquidity, which is nice. Exactly what we looked at yesterday, right? We got the push into the liquidity very lightly. But we were suspicious that we had all that liquidity still sitting below. So I was anticipating, right? I even said, if I get stopped out of this short, which I actually wound up holding because I was going to add. But if I get stopped out of this stopped out of this long, not short. Get stopped out of this long, no problem. We could come take some more of that liquidity before getting the bigger bounce to the upside. But the problem here is I really would have preferred to see a sweep of that liquidity into the key levels of support that we had down below, which we did not do. We front ran every single level of support down there. We swept the liquidity, but we front ran the daily naked point of control, right? If I move this, to get exactly accurate, right? We front ran the daily naked point of control. We front ran the 786, and we front ran the weekly naked point of control. So I would love if we did come down here. I honestly would feel a lot better about this bigger move up if we had come in and pushed into those key levels of support. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. Come on in here, Mrs. Candles. Come on in here, Mrs. Candles. Come on in. We need can you do a little what? Yeah, she was singing. She goes, oh, I can't sing. That's copyright. We're going to need a couple sniffs here, Mrs. Candles. Give me the fingers, Mrs. K. She won't give me the fingers. She knows what's up. Oh, Mrs. Candles, pump this thing up. What do you think? Are we going to pump? Are we getting the 1 hour money flow crossover into the green for a pump to the upside, or are we going to go take the lows again? She said we're going to take the lows. Well, you heard it here first, guys. There you go. She said it's okay, though. You make money whether it goes up or down. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. She knows. Mrs. Candles is secretly in the CandleMafia. She's in the premium Discord. She's taking the trades, and she's making money whether price goes up or down, guys. But potentially, we could, I would have loved to come and take the lows into these key levels of support. We did front run them slightly. This girl cracks me up, man. But yeah, if we do come up here, again, we have that liquidity. We could look for the bearish confirmations for a short back down. That would be awesome, right? If we could just catch that long, catch that short, and then catch that bigger long to the upside, that'd be awesome. But this is what I'm looking at, guys. If you go back to the beginning of the stream, it'll break down all the TA in a little bit more of a simple manner, looking at the short-term, local range, and then also looking at the kind of long-term situation as far as, is the bear market in? And I'm going to try to make a pre-record about that. I want to make sure it's a good video, well thought out, with everything kind of listed and give you my full thoughts on what I'm expecting here. But what's Mrs. Candle's win rate? She is still learning, but her win rate is about 73%, which is crazy high. I think she's getting beginner's luck. I think she has some beginner's luck. She does have Frankie Candles as her, boyfriend, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Shout out to Mrs. Candles with the insane win rate. Shout out to the Mrs. Candles hands in the chat. But guys, with all that being said, we have run out of time. That's not the button I meant to hit. But with all that being said, guys, that's all the time for beginner. That's fire. Shout out to Crypto Pollo. Yeah, I think she's getting lucky. Or maybe she's just that much better than I was when I started. That's quite good, Frankie. Yeah, shout out to Jesse. But yeah, we'll see. The market will humble her. Humble her. That's okay, though, because she'll just blow up the account. And her good old friend, Mr. Candles, will just reset the account for her. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. But guys, thank you for tuning in and hanging out with us here till the end of the stream. We'll see if we could get the move to the downside, a little dip to the downside, see that money flow crossover, give us the bigger move up. But we'll see, guys. That long has profits locked in. If we stop out, we'll look to take those lows into the key levels of support. We're just looking to catch these moves up and down, guys, and make a little money. Jump in, grab our bag, jump out until we can get some really, really sound structure built out with some really, really strong confirmations to take our next big trade. But we'll see what happens. Thank you for, let's see, it's official. BTC is on an all Taco Bell diet. Shout out to Ligma. Yeah, unbelievable. She's got Mr. Candles. Always a W. Shout out to Scuba Trades. Let's go. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out, and we'll see you here tomorrow. Same place, same time. Pray for Bitcoin, guys. Please pray to the crypto gods for Bitcoin. Let's just send this thing back to the upside. I gotta go spend about 3 hours sniffing Mrs. Candle's hands. I just like hold her hands all night. Sometimes my face gets bruised, but I'm gonna try to pump this thing for you guys. But with all that being said, guys, I'll see you same place right here. Same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. Shout out to J. Cole, shout out to Elixir, shout out to Jesse, shout out to John Cena, Dave Digital, Shunzin, Darren Does Things, Crypto Billy. Don't forget to check out Billy Go Tails on X tonight, 9 p.m. Be there or be square. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong!
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f*** is it? They should have 2 bells ready. Spin it for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Again? I told him you had a 70% win rate. I already, how much do you need? I already sent you more to the wallet yesterday. You full port shorted at the bottom. Okay. All right. I'll send it to you. Love you too. All right. Oh. I guess the cat's out of the bag, guys. She doesn't have a 70% win rate. She just asked me to refill her account again. She's getting toasted. But I give her benefit of the doubt. It's hard. It's hard when you first start trading, guys. Fraud! Shout out to Kalichi. But yeah, I got to go load up Mrs. Candle's account with more money. I got to go. Hasta pasta, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time. Pray for Bitcoin. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong!
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the